WFBB-LP, Glen St. Mary, McClenny, 97.5, the beacon of Baker County.
Welcome to Baker High Wildcats football. And now, Baker High Wildcats football.
And good evening, everybody, and welcome to another Friday night edition of Baker County Wildcat football right here on 97.5 FM WFBB. Coming to you live tonight from Bradford County, Florida, Bradford High School on the campus of. Mike Cruz, Jackie Baker, set to bring you all the action 2022 Baker County Wildcat football. And this Wildcat football team just keeps winning. Last week, a big win in round 2 of the 2-2S state playoffs, and the Wildcats find themselves in a grudge match here tonight. Bradford, Florida, the Bradford Tornadoes, coached by former Wildcat football player and former Wildcat football coach Jamie Rogers, doing battle against Coach Kevin Mays of the Baker County Wildcats. And Jackie, this one sets up to be a great football game.
I mean, what a battle, Mike. I mean, this is going to be an absolute juggernaut of a game. The Wildcats on what they call the revenge tour. We went last week and defeated Baldwin, who had beat us early on in the season. Bradford jumped out on us early in that game that we later on took a forfeit for. So a couple losses to teams we turn right around and face in the playoffs, and I got to think this Wildcat team's playing better than they were early on in the season, and you hope this one's going to be a good one.
Yeah, I mean, it's one of those unfinished business games, and it's really that way for both teams, and both teams are looking at it that way, right? So the first game of the year, Wildcat fans, you'll remember we were set to play Bradford at home, and we had the hurricane issue, and right before kickoff, the storm blew in, and we had all kind of lightning delays, and everything else was going on that night, and eventually the game did kick off, and we did get through middle part of the second quarter, but the game, in essence, never really got kicked off. But through that first quarter and a half, Bradford did have a pretty substantial lead, 21-0 on the Wildcats, and they wanted to finish the game. The Wildcats wanted to finish the game. There was just no way to get it done during the year, so we ended up taking that as one of our losses this year. So the Wildcats 7-3 on the year. That includes the loss to Bradford, and like you said, the loss to Baldwin. And we got a chance to play Baldwin again last week. Came away with a 2-point victory. Tough, hard-fought ball game. Baldwin definitely a very challenging opponent, district champions this year. That was a great win for the Wildcats last week, Jackie. But here we are. This is the region final. So to put that in perspective, there's 8 teams left in 2S. And after tonight, there will be 4. So after this region final across the state, the Final Four will take place next week.
Yeah, I mean, I was thinking about that today, you know. 8 teams left in our classification, Mike. We started with 32 teams. So 24 teams are no longer playing football. You know, their seasons have ended,
right.
and now you're down to these 8. And when you really put that into perspective across the whole state of Florida, I mean, what an honor to be here, you know, and something to – we just got done with Thanksgiving. Well, that's something to be thankful for, that you're still playing football this week.
Thanksgiving Day yesterday. Happy Thanksgiving to all the Wildcat fans listening in across the way. Bradford comes in tonight's game. The Tornadoes sport a 9-1 regular season record. They've got 2 playoff wins. They're 11-1 on the season. Their only loss came in the final game on the road against the Swanee Bulldogs, which oddly enough was another former Jamie Rogers coach team. So Jamie Rogers making his name all over the North Florida, basically. But they, they're sitting here. They're 11-1 right now. The Wildcats were 7-3, sitting here 9-3 after 2 playoff wins. So an 11-1 team, number 1 seed in the region, facing a 9-3 team, the number 3 seed in the region. Jackie, that's why we say this has all the makings for a good one. Bradford with the home field advantage. They play on this turf over here. I don't know, in the last 5 years this turf's been installed over here, and it's a beautiful field. Only problem, they still have the same bleachers they've had for 50 years.
The same bleachers and the same mud pits. I'd cut 10 yards of turf out maybe and do some dirt around here.
And Jackie and I are here, both of us avid Gator fans. We know Florida and Florida State's going to be kicking off any time, and I know we got Wildcat fans that are going to be paying attention to both. Don't tell us. Don't send us any text. Don't let us know. Jackie and I are recording it. We're going to go home together. We're going to watch it later. So just don't even tell us. Don't even tell us. We don't want to know. Wildcats and Bradford, the Tornadoes here, that's what we've got on our mind. Wildcats come out tonight. We've got black pants, white jerseys trimmed in red numerals with the black helmets. Wildcat captains coming to the center of the field now. Bradford, all red tonight. Red pants with the red jerseys trimmed in white numerals with the red helmets. And the captains are going to meet at midfield. Blake Mays, Cam Smith, Orlando Holland, the captains for the Cats. Let me get my Bradford roster, Jackie. I stowed it away while the rain was falling here. And I got to find it. Jackie, talk about some of the keys, Jackie. You know, the big thing for us is we've had a couple of shakeups here toward the end of the season. You know, Josh Holmes filling in admirably in that number 2 hole. Kanias Williams hasn't played there in a couple of weeks since that last game against Sun Lake. So the Wildcats will continue to count on Josh Holmes along with Cam Smith in the backfield along with Davion Dean. They kind of had a little rotation between those 3 offensively. Defensively, a couple little shakeups there during the week. The Wildcats have played excellent defense all year long. They're going to have to be solid on defense here tonight. Bradford High wins the toss. They defer to the second half. So Coach Rogers, as you would know it, Jackie, wants to put his defense on the field to start the game.
Yeah, I mean, I'll tell you, one of the biggest keys, Mike, is going to be the penalties. Baker County's gotten away with several highly penalized games, and you're just not going to be able to do that tonight against a good Bradford team. Defense is going to have to play really well. Bradford put up 37 on the Gainesville Eastside Rams last week. You know, that offense is playing good. So this defense, our defense, we saw earlier Derek Major, one of our key defensive backs, Mike, out for the game. That's a huge hurt for this Wildcat team, you know. So the rest of these guys are going to have to step up. And, I mean, I'd say more than anything, come in with some confidence. Come in knowing you can play with these guys.
Yeah, I mean, and what you just said, I don't like to talk about the high school kids and their injuries, but it is a fact. We lost Kanias Williams in that last game. Kanias, a young guy, I think he had a 50-yard touchdown run in that Sunlight game. He hasn't played since that game. Derek Major, you remember a couple of weeks ago against Yulee, had a chance for a couple of pick sixes in that ball game. And, he's played really well in that secondary. And, Derek Major's a big reason why that defense has played so well. So, young guy, freshman, Gavin Mosley's going to get a start back there tonight. I talked to Rock Roden tonight before the game. Rock says, hey, defense is still going to be solid. We're just going to mesh a couple of guys around, and we'll keep going. But we hope Derek Major gets back on his feet here pretty quickly.
Yeah, Coach Rock, done a great job with those guys. You talk about Gavin Mosley coming in the game, a guy that's got some playing time here recently, just a freshman, Mike. Yeah, so, again, you want to hear us. We've talked about it all season about what a young squad this defense is. Well, now we're rolling another freshman out there that's getting considerable playing time. Those guys got to show up to play tonight. Get you a couple turnovers, stay in this game. I think if we can get it to the fourth quarter, Mike, I like our chances. We can't let it slip away early like we did in the first matchup.
And talk about a dramatic entrance over here, Jackie. They got the Jumbotron with the video playing down there. Look at the tunnel over there, the Bradford Tornadoes. The Wildcats are already on the field ready to get the kick. They haven't come out of the tunnel yet. But there goes the smoke machine. Looks like the Miami Hurricanes back in the 1980s. Here comes Bradford. And they're fired up. These guys are fired up, Jackie, and I was able to go down on the field before the game, and I'll tell you, both squads came out. The referees told them both stay behind the 45-yard line on each side because there was so much jawing going on. This is going to be intense.
Absolutely. Matter of fact, I think you had some trash talking to you down there. You had your Mason County gear on, man. Listen, we got some friendlies down there, too, but not tonight.
Yeah, Jackie, you and I had a chance to really talk about some of the Wildcat history, and we'll get into that as you hear the fireworks behind us here as they are fired up here in Bradford about this Stark Tornado football team. And the Wildcats, that's the environment that we're in tonight, folks. The Wildcats are going to have to quiet them early, and hopefully that's getting the ball first. We can do that. If we can put the ball in the end zone early, score some points, maybe get a lead in this football game, that's going to be key. The Wildcats can't play from behind over here tonight, Jack.
No, not at all. And, I tell you, you talked about a high-intense battle. As soon as Bradford comes down here, guys on the far end on the field, jawing to a couple of our guys who've been on the field now for about 2 minutes. The referees aren't even paying attention to any of it. They're just letting it ride. So it's going to be one of those games, Mike. Going to be a heavyweight fight, man.
It will be, and I'm excited about it. I'm glad we're here for it. Hayden Hughes, number 22 for Bradford, has the ball teed up at the 40-yard line. The Wildcats will move left to right across your radio dial. Davion Dean and Cam Smith back deep to return the kick here. Dean to the left, Cam Smith to the right. See if they get a kick that they can handle. If Bradford elects to kick deep or not. Hughes gets a foot into it. We're going to let it go out of bounds over here. And the Wildcats will start with good field position. That kick never had a chance as it sails out of bounds along the 30-yard line or so of the Wildcat sideline. And that kick was just a straight shank.
I don't even know. I don't know if it was a shank. We saw Baldwin do it all last week, too. That was their intention, to kick that ball out of bounds, keep it out of the hands of Cam Smith and Davion Dean. That good 1-2 punch has come along here.
The defense is a strong suit for this Bradford team. They line them up 4 deep across the front. College-level players here. They've got some guys committed to go some different places. We'll talk about that through the night. Wildcats come out, same formation that we normally see. You got Blake Mays in the backfield. Cam Smith is your tailback. Davion Dean split to the left along with, looks like Josh Holmes, and then over to the right. Silas Roden is on this side along with Jason Roden, if that's right. Cedric Larry. Said that wrong. There we go. 2 receivers right, 2 to the left. Just underway. This will be the first play from Bradford High tonight. And here we go, folks. Wildcats from their own 35-yard line after the kick went out of bounds. Blake May is going to run it to the left side. Going to toss it back to Davion Dean. Got some razzle-dazzle on play 1, and Cam Smith is wide open. And Cam Smith is at the 35, at the 30, flags down all over the field. And Cam Smith is going to take it all the way to the 5-yard line of Bradford. But don't count on it, Jackie. This is coming back. I see 3 flags on the field, and they're all going to be against the Wildcats, I'm afraid.
I don't know. This one down here is going to be roughing the passer.
Razzle-dazzle on play 1. Davion Dean came around. Wide receiver reverse, toss pass back the other way. He had Cam Smith or Blake Mays to throw the ball to. He found Cam Smith, and Cam Smith broke some tackles, got down the sideline to the 5-yard line. But even if these are offsetting, it's coming back.
Yeah, I know, which is going to be very frustrating. You want to talk about some momentum, Mike, in a high school football game. The Wildcats would have had a bunch of it down as Cam Smith got down to the 15-yard line. And unfortunately,
Davion Dean shows off that arm that he's got. Guy that we thought coming into the season was going to play largely at the quarterback position. He's played both sides of the ball, defense and offense. And when he does get the ball in his hands, he's electric. And that play was electric, but the head official says we had an illegal man downfield against the Wildcats, and then we had illegal hands to the face against Bradford. They're going to offset them, and we're going to go back to the 35 and redo it. So all that momentum, Jackie, that surprise factor is out the window now.
I know, you hate that. That's almost like an onside kick to start the game when it doesn't work. It's not there anymore, but a great pass, great play call by Kevin Mays.
1st and 10 now after the penalty. Everything's reset. Cam Smith's going to run it straight ahead, and Cam Smith's going to power his way out to the 39 for a 4-yard gain. It'll be 2nd down and 6. And the Wildcats called him off guard. We had a huge play. Would have been 1st and goal at the 5. Offsetting penalties wiped it out. Here we go. 2nd and 6 from the 39-yard line. Mays in the shotgun. 2 receivers left, 2 to the right. 3 receivers left, 1 to the right. Now Cam Smith in the backfield, the lone tailback. From the 39, Mays looks to the sideline. Wildcats are right in front of the Wildcat bench right now, almost at the 40-yard line. 2nd down. Mays. Oh, my goodness. Almost disaster, but luckily there was I think, offsides on the defense. It's going to bail the Wildcats out here. You're going to get offsides. Jackie, the snap went through Blake's hands, and it would have been a huge loss on the play, but offsides, they blew the play dead because Bradford came into the neutral zone before the play was snapped. So we're going to get 5 yards, and it's going to be 2nd down and 1 now.
I think he was lined up offside the whole time as I heard some Wildcat fans hollering at the referee, but luckily, what a break for the Wildcats. That snap, like you said, went well over Blake Mays' head.
But he must have moved, though, for them to blow it dead, because if he'd have just been lined up there, they'd have just thrown the flag. But either way, 2nd down 1. Blake Mays takes the snap. Going to give it to Cam Smith. No. Mays on the read. Mays across the 50. Mays across the 40. Down across the 45. Pushed well out of bounds. And no flag as number 4 for Bradford pushes him into the fence over here. That's Demetrius Pringle. And my goodness, Mays with a good run there on the zone read play. He made the right read and goes all the way to the Bradford 40 and a 1st down.
That's a great read by, I'll tell you, the problem with that penalty there, Mike, is there's not a lot of room from the sideline to the pitch right there, so that extra shove on my starting quarterback, I don't like it at all. But a good run that time by Blake Mays.
16 yards on the carry for Blake Mays. Wildcats right in front of the Wildcat bench here. And in front of the Wildcat sideline, I'm sure you could hear their displeasure with that late hit out of bounds and no flag. 1st and 10 from the 40. Mays hands it off. This is going to be Smith, and Smith is going to be met this time at the line of scrimmage, and he's not going to get very far. A 1-yard gain as Jason Clark, number 10, came in there. Big linebacker came in. He was helped by somebody. I didn't get a number, but either way, 1-yard gain. It'll be 2nd and 9.
Yeah, that time Cam Smith just lowers his shoulder, hit at the line of scrimmage there, did all he could. Didn't pick up much, but
well, this guy on our sideline had a 1-yard gain, and then they moved the ball back to the 40, so no gain. 2nd and 10. Two backs in the backfield now, two receivers to the right. Going to hand the ball off. Davion Dean is going to run it to the right on the fake, and Mays is going to zone read it to the middle of the field. I thought he gave it to Davion Dean, and Mays is going to pick up 5 here. It'll be 3rd and 5.
Hey, and that's what you need out of Blake Mays, Mike. We talked about it before the game. I felt like that's one of the keys for Blake Mays, who's done a good job making that read.
Yeah.
You're not going to score a touchdown every time, but if you can pick up 4 or 5 consistently, and that's 2 big runs now by Blake Mays and the first 3rd down of the night for this Wildcat team.
Wildcat fans across the country and across the county back there listening in to the Wildcats tonight. We send a big hello and happy Thanksgiving. 3rd down and 5. Wildcats going to run it with Davion Dean. He sends off the tackle, but he's not going to get out of the second one, as Dean broke the first tackle at the line of scrimmage, but brought down as a host of Bradford defenders were there, and it's a no-gain situation. So it'll be 4th and 5, and Coach Mays is going to have to make a decision.
Yeah, I think you're in no man's land here, Mike. Looks like the offense is going to stay on the field, and you hate to give Bradford, if you don't get this, any momentum whatsoever, but a big play here.
9:05 to go first quarter, first possession by either team. The Wildcats have marched it to the Bradford 35, and we face a 4th down and 5. Offense on the field, 3 receivers to the right, 2 to the left. No backs in the backfield. 5 receivers set here for the Cats. 4th down, snap back to Mays. He looks downfield, looking for Dean. Davion Dean in the corner of the end zone, off of his hands and incomplete. He had Davion Dean, and the throw was there. It just couldn't come down with the catch. It'll be turnover on downs, and Bradford's going to take it from the 35.
Oh, my goodness. What a throw by Blake Mays to Davion Dean. I didn't think he had a chance in the world. Davion Dean ran that ball down in double coverage, Mike, and it just got over the wrong shoulder. He kind of got underneath that football and was having to look up and just couldn't complete that pass. That would have been a huge play for this Wildcat team.
And that drive is going to be a set of near misses for the Cats, as we had the first play of the game was a reverse pass from Davion Dean to Cam Smith that went to the 5-yard line that was nullified by penalty. And now on 4th down, the Wildcats can't connect. Bradford takes over 1st and 10 from their own 35-yard line. In the gun, 2 receivers to the right, 2 to the left. The quarterback for Bradford is Alexander. And Alexander has one back in the backfield with him. That's Pollard. Pollard's going to get the carry. No, this is a different back gets the carry, but no gain on the play. The Wildcats stuck him right at the line. That was actually Chance on the carry, number 6 carrying the ball.
Good play by Seth Chestnut that time. Again, that first matchup, Bradford scored early and often, so this defense, this Wildcat defense, got a little chip on their shoulder tonight, Mike. Little redemption maybe if they come out here. They're going to have to play tough all game.
Seth Chestnut, Wildcats leading tackler, guys, got over 130 tackles on the year. 2nd down, they're going to run a little jet sweep to the right, and the Wildcats had it sniffed out. Davion Dean, Orlando Holland, a bunch of Wildcats over there making a big tackle right along the line of scrimmage, and the Bradford offense goes nowhere there. It'll be 3rd and 10.
Oh, my goodness. This Wildcat defense can force a 3 and out here and get the ball back, man. All the momentum right now, I feel like, on this Baker County side. These fans going crazy over here. Guys playing hard out there for the Wildcats so far.
That was Pollard on the sweep. Now Pollard lines up with the quarterback in the backfield here on 3rd down. 3rd down, call it 10. Straight drop for Alexander. He's hit by Orlando Holland, and Orlando Holland throws him to the ground, and Orlando Holland, a huge sack, and he's going to get a flag.
No, that's all that's going to be right here. That's going to be against Bradford County.
I don't know, Jack. Orlando Holland looked to the Bradford sideline and made a taunting gesture, and the flag came out right behind it. I'm not so sure it's against them. We're going to have to see. I'm telling you, Jackie, I'm not so sure.
It's on Thrift. One of the offensive linemen for Bradford pushed him right after the play right in front of that official that threw the flag.
What a job by Orlando Holland getting back there. Now they've got the ball set way back at the 25-yard line, but they haven't even called the penalty yet. So the down marker's still back up here at the 36-yard line. Orlando Holland came through with a huge sack. Now, okay, so he asked Coach Mays if he wanted it. You were right. I just was afraid because Holland came up and was celebrating that, and he didn't do anything egregious. He just kind of raised his arms and pointed to the Bradford crowd, and then I saw the flag.
And because it was an after the play, I'm going to assume it's still 4th down, and you're just going to get the 15 yards after the Orlando Holland sack.
Oh, yeah, that's what will happen. So the play is going to be dead at the 28-yard line, and they'll mark it from there. I guess they're using half the distance methodology here, so they're going to go back to the 17. So, yeah, all the way back to the 17. Huge sack by Holland. We force a 3-and-out on their first possession here. And the Wildcats will get the football back. And we're going to send Holmes back to the 40-yard line, our 40. I think he needs to come up a little bit.
Yeah, we talked about all the rain we got, man. It's slick out there right now. Can't have any mistakes on this return. I wouldn't mind seeing one roll through the punter's hands.
Love to see it. 7:17 to go first quarter, just underway from Bradford. Wildcats and Tornadoes doing battle here in this 2S region final. Final 8 in classification 2S in the state. The winner of tonight's game advances to the Final 4 and is regional champion. 7:17 to go first quarter. Both teams have had the ball one time. The Wildcats drove the ball, looked solid on their first offensive possession. Came up a little short, went for it on 4th down in Bradford territory, turned it over on downs. Now Bradford had it 3 plays and out. The Wildcats get a huge sack on 3rd down. And these officials are talking about this an awful lot. And they're going to replay 3rd down, I'm afraid.
Nah.
That's what they're going to do. They're going to replay 3rd down. It should have been dead ball, so it should have been 4th down.
I would think that Coach Mays, though, would want to decline the penalty there and get them into 4th down.
Oh, I see what. I knew they didn't mark the penalty right to begin with. It's still 4th down. But they moved the ball back to the 12. So, yeah. So now, finally, the ball's all the way back to the 12, but they have said 3rd down.
There's a lot of confusion. I'm telling you, Coach Mays was confused himself. That should have been 4th down. They came over and signaled 3rd down to Coach Mays. He's going now. He's saying there's no way. It was 4th down.
If you're going to replay the down, give me a chance to decline it.
Right. That's what he would have done. If they were going to replay the down, he's going to decline that, make it 4th down, so Bradford County has to punt.
Absolutely, and they should have given him that option. They didn't even give him the option, so I don't know if they charged Baker County with a timeout here, but these officials have got to take control.
That's terrible. That's absolutely terrible.
This is taking way too long to iron out.
Here's what happened. Orlando Holland got the sack. Yep. The play was over. Tucker Thrift gets pushed down after the play. That's the personal foul, dead ball personal foul, so it should stay 4th down with the 15 yards tacked on to that.
Oh, I totally agree with that.
Me and you are on the same page. They're not.
Yeah, I agree with you, but the official now has to give Coach Mays the option, hey, if you're replaying 3rd down here, if you're saying that was live action, I can decline it, and it'll be 4th down.
Right.
And take the sack.
Which he would have done. That's bad. That's real bad on the part of these officials.
Well, I can't believe that we're going to continue with this. I mean, Coach Mays surely would have just told him to decline the penalty.
I think they're saying, no, you've already accepted it. You can't change your mind now. But if you can change your mind on the down, he should be able to change his mind about what he wants to do.
After all that, it'll be 3rd down from the 10-yard line. They need to go all the way to the 45. So it's 3rd down and 35 for Bradford. They're going to run the football to the right side, and the running back's ahead across the 20, out across the 30, out to the 32-yard line. He's going to be well short of the 1st down, but it does change the field position, and they would have been punting from way back before. So now you're going to be 4th down and about 12.
Still a great stop, and at the end of it, that's probably where he ends up. Because Mays declines the penalty, so not a whole lot hurt there. But, man, what a lot of confusion there.
Yeah, you're exactly right. That's about where the sack took place. So now Bradford's going to send the punter out. Josh Holmes back out there, stands about our 35. So here we go. They're going to punt it away. Gets a high punt. It's going to hit and roll. It's going to take a Bradford roll. And that's what I was talking about. We had to get back there and stop that because he's going to get about 15 yards on the roll inside the 20, right there at the 20-yard line where we'll take it. So after all that, about half the quarter is over. Neither team has done any damage. It's nothing to nothing. 6:19 to go here in the first quarter, and the Wildcats back on offense.
And I thought the Wildcats on that first drive of the night. Had a little something going there, Mike. A couple razzle-dazzle plays there, and on fourth down, had a shot at the end zone there. Unfortunately, fell incomplete, but so far, these guys came to play.
We'll take a 30-second timeout here. We got the mid-quarter break. We'll send it back to the station. You're listening to the 2022 FHSAA High School Playoffs right here on WFBB.
Have you ever thought about cleaning out your garage or wonder what you need to do with all those aluminum cans or scrap metal you've got laying around in the backyard? Well, look no further. You just need to load it up and head to American Recycling. Tim Hughes owns and operates American Recycling on Woodlawn Road in McClenny, Florida. They're open Monday through Friday, 9 a.m. to 5 p.m., and on the second and fourth Saturdays of every month from 9 a.m. to noon. Stop by and see Tim and maybe even cash in on that stuff you've got laying around. Tim and American Recycling say, go Wildcat. Baker County Farm Bureau wants to wish the Baker County Wildcats much success this football season. Baker County Farm Bureau, specializing in auto insurance, homeowners insurance, along with life insurance. To get started with Farm Bureau, contact Jack Baker or Justin Webb at 259-6332. That's 259-6332.
Hi, this is Larry Birkins of Birkins Chevrolet in McClenny. It is truly an honor to help make these Wildcat radio broadcasts possible. Birkins Chevrolet with sales and service 6 days a week. Cars, trucks, SUVs, certified used cars. We help customers establish or reestablish credit. Thank you, Wildcat fans. From Larry Birkins at Birkins Chevrolet, US 90 in the heart of McClenny.
Online at BirkinsChevy.com.
And we welcome you back here to Bradford High. I think we might have had some technical difficulties out there. If you can hear us, Wildcats nothing, Bradford nothing. Middle part of the first quarter, Wildcats just punted it back to Bradford, and they're going to get field position here back to midfield. Alexander, the quarterback, going to hand the ball to Pollard, and Pollard's going to power his way ahead, and he's going to pick up 6 or 7 tough yards. I think Bradford kind of went back to the well here and said, hey, let's just try to run this ball down their throat, and they get 7 yards on first down.
Yeah, they saw, if you recall that first matchup against Baldwin, that's all they did. Again, this young young defense for the Wildcats. A lot of athleticism out there on the field. They can get sideline to sideline pretty quick. But sometimes inside the tackles, Mike, we give up some weight, man.
Second down play now. Alexander going to give to Pollard again. They're just going to run the football to the right side. Pollard's going to get hit after a gain of 2 on the play, but they do get the first down. So he just needed a couple yards there to pick up the first down. Wildcat on the scene over there. Looked like 16, but I'm not sure who.
I think it was Seth Chestnut ran it down from behind.
15. There you go. Bradford, though, Jackie, the one damaging thing that's happened here during these first 4 possessions is Bradford has kind of flipped the field on field position now. They're in Wildcat territory at the 39. We didn't have a great punt, went out of bounds right at midfield, but they're going to get a flag here on the first down play. But make note, they were going to run Pollard again. That would have been 3 straight running plays. And a team like Bradford, if they feel like they can control the line of scrimmage, that's what they're going to stick with. Especially that's the type of style of coaching that Jamie Rogers does. You know, if it's working, he's going to stick with it and just try to, kind of pound you into submission, so to speak. You know, this flag I thought was a false start on Bradford. It's going to be 5 offsides against the Cats, though. So now it's 1st and 5. From the 34 of the Wildcats, 2 receivers to the left. Long back in the backfield, Pollard. He gets the carry again, and the Wildcats meet Pollard at the line of scrimmage. No gain. It'll be 2nd and 5.
Great play that time by that Wildcat front, Mike. Getting after it down there, and again, this is just going to be a little smash-based football here. Pound for pound, who's going to move who, and that time the Wildcat front gets the best of that Tornado offensive line. They even lost a yard there.
2nd down, long 5 now for Bradford. Alexander in the gun. Fullback in there to block, 2 receivers to the left, and now fullback goes to the slot. Handoff is to Pollard again, running to the left side this time, and Pollard's got a hole. Pollard breaks free. He's inside the 20-yard line. The ball came out. Toward the end of that play, the ball came out, and they're going to say move the chains. He was down, so it's going to be 1st down for Bradford inside the 20.
Oh, man, that was close. I think he was down, though, but a great hit. Looked like Davion Dean was able to come over and knock that ball loose, but not before Pollard picked up big yardage.
1st down and 10 now for Bradford inside the 15-yard line. First serious scoring threat of the game. Pollard's going to run it again, and Pollard's got a hole inside the 10 and down inside the 8-yard line. Going to pick up about 8 yards here. And Bradford steadily behind Pollard. They're just lining up and running the football on this possession. And they're picking up chunk plays on 1st down, and that's what you want. They picked up 9 at 2nd down and 1. They can pick up a 1st down inside the 5 here. That would make it a 1st and goal, but right now it's 2nd and 1 from right outside the 5-yard line. Alexander in the gun, 2 receivers to the left. He's got Pollard in the backfield. Now Alexander just going to run it himself. He's got the 1st down, and he's got more. He's inside the 5-yard line all the way down to the 1-yard line. And it'll be 1st down and goal for Bradford from the 1-yard line.
Yeah, nothing fancy that time. I mean, this whole series, you called it, Mike, just lining up behind that offensive front and getting it done. This Wildcat defense is going to have to step up here and just start plugging holes.
Yeah, at some point in time, if that's what they're going to try to do is just push you down, you're going to have to load the box here and see if we can commit to stopping it. From the 1-yard line, 1st and goal now, Bradford. 1:15 on the clock, and Alexander's going to run it straight ahead. Holland hit him first, and the Wildcats pushing backwards. On 1st and goal, he's not going to get it, so it'll be 2nd and goal from about the 1-yard line. Holland was the first guy there.
Holland hit him, and then big Ashton Johnson from that defensive tackle spot. First-year football player, but a big body down there, able to just stand Pollard up at the goal line.
2nd down coming up now for Bradford. Under a minute to go in the first quarter. No score here. Tornadoes doing battle with the Wildcats in this region final. Historic venue over here, David Hurst Stadium in Stark, Florida. Oh, he fumbles the football. The football is on the ground. The snap hit him in the hands. The Wildcats pick it up. The Wildcats are running it back. 50, 45, one man to beat. He's got one man to beat, 30, 25, 20, 15, 10, and he's going to be down inside the 10 at the 5-yard line. The ball was rolling free. Nobody picked it up. The Wildcats did, and we're going to have a first and goal the other way.
Oh, my goodness. Davion Dean scoops that fumble up. It was down there like a wet bar of soap. Nobody could get their hands on it. He finally picks it up. Or no, I think that was Makai Mosley. Makai Mosley picks it up and rumbles and stumbles all the way down. It was a foot race. What a turn of events, Mike.
Well, the equalizer in big football games, Jackie, is turnover and big plays. So far in this game, the Wildcats' big play should have counted or would have counted for a big play early on, and now they get the first turnover. So, Wildcats' advantage on big plays and turnovers, and that's what you got to have, especially if you're the underdog. First and goal from inside the 10-yard line. Wildcats send Davion Dean back there at quarterback. He runs his own read to Cam Smith, who got blown up in the backfield. They were keying on Cam Smith, and Davion Dean picks up one, maybe two, down inside the 5-yard line. But my goodness, the hit Cam Smith just took.
Yeah, he did. And I tell you, Davion Dean was a step away that time from getting into the end zone, and we're going to get the end of the first quarter here.
Yeah, we're going to switch ends. That's the end of the first quarter. No score. The Wildcats have a second and goal when we come back. You're listening to the 2022 FHSAA High School 2S playoffs here on WFBB. We'll take a 1-minute timeout.
You're listening to Wildcat Football on 97.5 FM WFBB. This radio station is a ministry of Glen Baptist Church in Glen St. Mary, Florida. We're blessed to air Baker County Wildcat Football live each week, and it's our hope that you enjoy the program. We know that life is busy, work, school, football, running errands around, but in the midst of the busyness, we all need a church home that brings the stability upon which you can build your life. If you're looking for a church home where you can grow in Christ and community, we would love to invite you to worship with us every Sunday morning at 10:30 a.m. Check us out on our website at glenbaptist.org or on Facebook, where you can access church info and content and even watch worship services. At Glen, you get dynamic music, gospel-centered expository preaching, and a wonderful faith community. Come grow with us.
On the campus of Bradford High School, the Bradford Tornadoes hosting the Baker County Wildcats. First turnover of the night goes to the Wildcats as we pick up a big fumble, and Makai Mosley rumbles about 90 yards, I'm going to say, from one 5-yard line to the other 5-yard line, and the Wildcats have a second and goal inside the 5. Blake Mays back in their quarterback, going to hand it to Cam Smith. No, Mays takes the ball to the left, and Blake Mays is in the end zone for 4 yards out. The Wildcats score first. Wildcats on the board first here. Blake Mays was on replay. He faked it to Cam Smith, and Cam Smith at the end of the night is going to be like, man, I took a pounding and didn't even run the football.
No doubt about it, but I'm going to tell you, they're going to key on number 1 back there. Other guys are going to have to step up, and so far, Blake Mays doing a great job on that read option, and he's in for the first points of the night.
6-0 Cats, 11:53 to go in the first half. Wildcats after the big turnover on the board. Blake Mays out there to attempt the extra point. Davion Dean going to set it down. The snap is back. The hold is a good one, and the kick is right down the middle. And the Wildcats have 7, and Bradford nothing here. And as we're underway in the second quarter underway, the Wildcats surprisingly taking the lead here because, Jackie, it looked like Bradford had stolen our momentum. We had momentum on the first drive of the game. That momentum was quickly halted, and Bradford kind of took it back away from us. Pollard was running the football with ease down the field, and they were lined up second and goal from the 1-yard line. The quarterback in the shotgun, Alexander, had the ball slip out of his hands, and it was rolling around on the turf, and nobody could get a hold of the football. Makai Mosley ran it down and came out of there and had one man from start to beat, and it was a foot race from the 50-yard line all the way to the 5. He finally got caught just around the 10-yard line, tackled at the 5, And the Wildcats punch it in 2 plays from the 5-yard line, and now we've got a 7-0 lead.
My goodness, you talk about hanging on to some momentum there. You went through a first quarter of scoreless football, and now the Wildcats draw first blood here to start this second quarter with a Blake Mays keeper. A lot of momentum on this Baker County sideline right now, Mike.
Well, you got to keep it. I told you before the game, the Wildcats need to score first, and we need to get ahead by a score or 2 and keep that momentum. If you can maintain the momentum in this building, the Wildcats have a chance. They took the momentum away with that turnover a moment ago, and that was huge. Blake Mays gets his foot into it. It's going to roll into the end zone for a touchback, and Bradford will start 1st and 10 from the 20. And we got a guy over here that just about took a helmet off of a Wildcat player and no flag.
That's terrible. That's too bad. So I want to tell you, on that Blake Mays keeper, he was in the end zone about 3 yards and got absolutely blown up after the play was over with. And right there, looked like Connor Bearden on the kickoff team just was getting handled by the face mask.
I mean, their 23 had him by the face mask and wouldn't let go. And looked like he was going to throw him to the ground. And the officials are not even paying it a lick of attention.
And then if we would have retaliated there, we're going to get a 15-yard penalty.
Well, that's what you got to do. You got to maintain your composure and hope that at some point they catch those plays. 1st down and 10 now. Bradford's offense back on the field. They're going to go back to Pollard and run the football straight ahead, and Pollard's going to pile off left tackle and pick up about 5, maybe 6.
Yeah, and I'll tell you, I wouldn't change anything if I'm the Bradford offensive coordinator. Pollard drove it all the way down to the 1-yard line behind that big offensive line. Wildcats didn't have an answer for it.
I keep saying Alexander, the quarterback. It's actually McKenzie, Jeremiah McKenzie, number 16. And Pollard is number 12. So Willie Pollard, the tailback. McKenzie, the quarterback. I don't know how I had that messed up, but I did. Either way, it's fixed now. McKenzie in the shotgun here. 2nd down play, going to hand it off again. Running to the right side this time is Pollard, and Pollard's going to be bottled up right at the line of scrimmage. Not going to pick up anything now. They're going to face a 3rd down again.
3rd down here, and I tell you, Pollard, he's slippery, Mike. He's got a lot of Cam Smith-esque, and you better get him down on that initial contact there. A couple Wildcats had an opportunity at him behind the line, but then a host of Wildcats able to finish the job. Big 3rd down play coming up. They need almost 5 here to move the chains. Wildcats settle in on defense. Bradford shows 2 receivers to the left, 1 back in the backfield. That's Pollard. McKenzie in the shotgun. McKenzie takes the ball, gives it to Pollard. Pollard's going to run left side, and he's not going to get there. He's going to pick up about 2 yards out to the 28-yard line, and he's going to be 2 yards short. They're going to send in the punt team. My goodness, this would be a huge stop here. 4th and about a yard here. You can't jump off sides, and you got to watch the face right here.
Well, we need to bring Josh Holmes up about 5, maybe 7 yards, and not let this thing roll. And they're actually, they wait and they bring the punter.
Yeah.
The punter drops back late in their snap count, so now the punter's going to drop back. They're inside the 30-yard line. Snap back to him. He's going to get a high punt. It's going to come to the right sideline. It's going to hit and roll at the 40 and take another Bradford roll. And that's what I'm talking about. Somebody's got to get to the sideline and show Holmes on this play that he's got to come up about 5, maybe 10 yards here and come up and stop this ball from rolling, because on that turf, that's what it's going to do every single time.
I agree with you. In the first one, we should have caught there, but he shanked that one.
Oh, no,
That's a lucky break. I can't believe that ball didn't roll out of bounds right there.
But come this way.
Yeah, you're right.
You can come scoop it up or knock it out of bounds or something.
Absolutely.
Stop the roll.
You're right.
That thing was 20-something yards roll, and we go all the way back to the 20-yard line. So, 1st and 10 from the 20, 9:41 to go. And that's not Josh Holmes.
No, not at all.
I'm saying the coaches need to go correct that.
Yeah.
I put that on coaching.
I like to catch a punt.
Yeah, so if Josh's family's listening out there, listen, I'm not saying that was his fault. I'm saying the coaches need to correct it. 1st down, here we go. Handoff, Cam Smith. Cam Smith across the 20. Gets upended right there around the 23-yard line. One of the captains for Bradford Tornadoes, number 10, Jason Clark, on the tackle. Junior linebacker there. You've seen number 10 several times here early on in this football game making plays. 9:22 to go in the first half. Wildcats 7, Bradford nothing. Wildcats with the football, 2nd down and 7 from the 23-yard line.
And what it would be to put another drive together here.
Josh Holmes in the backfield now. Cam Smith splits out to the right at receiver. Now Cam Smith in motion, going to hand the ball to him on the jet sweep to the weak side of the field. Cam Smith's going to fight his way to the 28 and go out of bounds right there. Picks up 5 yards on a quick little sweep play to the left side, and it'll be 3rd down and short from there.
Yeah, good job that time. Nothing fancy. Just a jet sweep to Cam Smith. Josh Holmes out there lead blocking for him.
That timing play. You send Cam Smith in motion. The snap gets there about the same time as Smith. You put it in his belly, ride him through the sideline, and he picks up 5, maybe almost 6 yards. 3rd down and 1. Mays takes the snap, gives it to Josh Holmes, and Josh Holmes is going to be hit initially and driven back, and he's not going to get the 1st down. Bradford's defensive line keyed on Josh Holmes and stuffed it.
Oh, man, that's frustrating there. I tell you what, Cam Smith, one of the most electric ball carriers I've seen in years, but, man, you get down there within a yard and a half, and it's going to be 3rd down. I need you to lower your head and try to pick that 1st down up, not run out of bounds.
Blake Mays back to punt. Stands at the 15-yard line. Good snap. Mays, a great punt. High punt. Going to be taken at the 38. Return man back to the 40. Going to be tackled right there. Good job by the Wildcats. Coming through on the special teams. Number 12 for the Cats. And flags come down late over there. Somebody's jawing, and somebody lost their helmet over there. And hopefully they caught Bradford on that, because you know that was them.
All right, well, I would hope if our helmet's off.
Cale Cruz was one of the guys on that tackle right there. Cale Cruz, just a sophomore on this football team, has made some great plays on defense this year, and again, making one there. The return man caught that ball at the 38, and he took off like he was going to have a big punt return. He only got 2 yards. They'll start out right around the 40-yard line. Nice job on special teams coverage there, and a good punt by Blake Mays. I got to tell you, you might not look up and say 50-yarder or anything like that, but that hang time allowed those guys to get down there, stuff him right when he caught it. So good job. And that's what we got to do, though. We got to get something. We got to catch the punt, which that's Bradford. Credit their coaching staff for that piece. And on this turf, Jackie, I can almost bet you that if you punted the ball 8 out of 10 times, it's going to take a favorable roll for the punter, right? I mean,
that was offsetting penalties they called, unfortunately, like on both sides. Imagine that. Need this Wildcat defense. See if they can stand once again.
All right, to reset, 8:06 to go, first half. Wildcats on top, 7-0. Bradford with the ball, 1st and 10 from their own 40. Quarterback McKenzie, 2 receivers to the left, going to give the ball again off the left side. This time only a gain of 1, maybe a gain of 2, and that was Pollard again. I tell you what, Pollard's gotten the lion's share of all the carries here early on.
Yeah, definitely the workhorse back there for this Bradford team, and so far, I can't say enough about this Wildcat front. Let one drive get away from them, came away with a fumble, able to make something happen down on the 1-yard line.
2-yard gain that time for Pollard. It's 2nd down and 8 from the 43-yard line. McKenzie, slot man to the right, 2 receivers to the left. Pollard, the back in the backfield. They swing the ball out to the left side, looking for a block. They get one. The receivers down the sideline, across midfield, and into Wildcat territory, down to the 42-yard line. That time they just little swing pass to the outside, looking for a block, and they got it, and they pick up a 1st down.
Yeah, and I tell you, I like to see if you're going to play that man coverage, go ahead and scoot up there. Pollard's not showing anything that he's willing to throw the ball deep. Yeah, if he wants to swing it out there, I'd love to see one of those linebackers step in that passing lane. Nothing fancy there, just a little swing pass out to the slot receiver.
1st and 10 from the 43 of the Wildcats. McKenzie in the gun, and they're going to get a flag here before the play. Offside on the defense.
That's 2 of those tonight, Mike. Goodness gracious.
Yeah, that hurts. I mean, you got a team that's running the football, and they're getting some good yardage. I mean, the Wildcat defense has played solid for sure, but they have gotten some yardage with the running game. So the last thing you want to do is give them a 1st and 5 instead of a 1st and 10. You're giving them a free 5 yards there. That's a couple of offsides. Penalties haven't killed the Wildcats tonight, but we just have to be just little things like that. 5 yards here, 5 yards there, keeps the drive going. 1st and 5 now, Bradford. inside the 40 from the 37-yard line. McKenzie in the gun, takes the snap. He's under pressure. McKenzie's going to scramble out, and he's going to get to the Bradford sideline over there and runs out of bounds along the far sideline inside the 30-yard line. And McKenzie on that 1st and 5 is going to pick up a first down, and now a flag after the play.
Oh, my goodness. And if this one's on the Wildcats, this is going to be trouble.
Yeah, I'm not sure what happened. I mean, it could. I mean, it's on the Bradford sideline. Wow, there were a couple of Wildcats coming off late over there. You're going to get the white hat coming out here to make the call. And looks like it's going to be dead ball unsportsmanlike against Bradford.
Oh, thank you.
So I'm going to tell you, it's a good time to go ahead and say it. I was talking with both coaches before the game. You know, Coach Rogers, everybody that's listening back in Baker County knows and respects Coach Rogers and this football team over here. And Jamie Rogers, one of my best friends, one of your best friends. But Jamie told me, he said, these guys are fired up tonight. So the jawing I heard on the field before the game, Jackie, you're going to have some of this. So it's fortunate for the Cats that these haven't cost us so far. That one hurts Bradford as that backs them up 15 after the first down, so they go all the way back to the 46-yard line. It doesn't hurt them as far as down, but it hurts them as far as distance here.
No doubt. And, yeah, I mean, there's friendlies over there, but I'm going to tell you what, there is no love lost tonight in this regional championship.
No, not at all. 1st and 10 from the 46-yard line. McKenzie straight drop now, flag down. You're going to get offsides against the Cats again.
What are we doing, guys? This has not been a problem all night or all season long.
And the issue on this one is, so after the unsportsmanlike, you know, makes it a 1st and 10, so now you're right back to where you were a moment ago. 1st and 5 situation.
My goodness.
7:02 to go. 7:02 to go in the first half. Wildcats 7, Bradford nothing, but Bradford with the football at the Wildcat 41-yard line. And now a flag against the offense.
Thank you.
And this guy on this side, he just wants to blow his whistle tonight because, I mean, every time it's coming from this guy. 5 yards this way, 5 yards that way.
All of this against Bradford County, I don't mind it. keep blowing it.
Well, it evens things back up. So now it's 1st and 10 again instead of 1st and 5. So 1st and 10. McKenzie with the play call from the sideline for the Tornadoes. In the shotgun. Now two receivers left, two to the right. Pollard in the backfield. McKenzie straight drop. He scrambles out, looks to his left. He's going to fire one downfield and run out of bounds along the far sideline over there.
He's going to lose a couple yards.
Yeah, he was looking for a receiver, so that'll be a sack for the Cats as we sack him a yard or two behind the line of scrimmage. He just scrambled out of bounds, so it'll be 2nd down and 12.
Orlando Holland over there in great pursuit. Good coverage down the field by this Wildcat secondary. Pollard had nowhere. McKenzie had nowhere to go with the football. Just ran out of bounds for a loss of about 2.
That false start penalty could play big on this drive. 2nd down, 12. McKenzie hands the ball to Pollard. Pollard running right side, and Pollard's got some room. He's inside the 45, inside the 40, and Pollard's loose. 30, 25, 20, and Pollard just kicked his way behind the blocker until he got loose down the sideline, and Pollard scores from 46 yards out, and it's now a 7-6 ball game as Pollard is running around high-fiving everybody in the end zone.
I'm going to tell you, this is what can't happen. There's some miscommunication on the Wildcat defense. We had a Wildcat player who was supposed to set the edge on this side. Well, he didn't get there in time, and guess where Pollard went? Right there to the side. My goodness.
Yeah, patient run for Pollard. He stayed behind his block, and once he got to the sideline over here, he saw the crease, and once he hit the hole, he was gone. Touchdown, 46-yard run for Pollard. And Bradford, with the extra point, can tie this thing up with 6.5 to go in the first half. Extra point is up and right down the middle. And we got a tie game. 6:34 to go in the first half. Bradford 7 and Baker County 7. Want to give a big hello to all the Wildcat fans listening in out there along radio airwaves tonight. Jackie, we've heard from several of them listening in back in Baker County. Some of them might even be here in the stadium. I'm not sure, but Nate Welch, I want to send him a big hello. Trav Barton, my man Trav Barton from Trav's Barbershop. I was talking to him today. Talking to him about some bass fishing, Jackie, if you can believe it.
Yeah, I got a I tell you, when we got a bunch of messages, we had a little technical difficulty there, boy, and both of our phones.
Yeah. Trav said he's going to be hanging out with Simon Crawford watching the Gator game. Once again, don't tell us. I don't want to know. Give them guys a shout out. A lot of folks listening in along the ways. My brother heard from my high school buddy, Matt Avera. Matt had a son graduate from Trinity last year. Colton Avera went on to play some college baseball up in the New York area. So Matt was listening in tonight. A lot of folks listening in to Wildcats. My man Kelly Cruz, I talked to him tonight, Jackie. Kelly Cruz listening in at home, rooting on the Wildcats. 7-7 ball game here. High kickoff, going to go to the left side. Davion Dean's going to return this one. He takes it at the 15-yard line. Dean back to the middle of the field. He's going to get out to the 20 and hit right there. Bradford does a nice job on special teams. And once again, the same thing happened to Bearden again. He got his helmet ripped off. And hopefully,
you can't let this thing get out of hand, I'm telling you.
Well, that's what they're doing, though. This guy, number 23 for Bradford, has done it twice now, and he ripped off Bearden's helmet. And now you're going to get the Wildcats retaliating, like you said a moment ago, and they're always going to get the ones that are going to get called for that. And unfortunately, the refs should have seen it the first time it happened over here when everybody in the stadium saw it except them. And now Bearden had his helmet ripped off again on this kickoff. And they're sitting here at the 20, and you're going to have, you're going to have to talk about this.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know.
And I'll be honest with you. I mean, take it how you want to, but Bradford's guys just undisciplined right now. I mean, and they're going to call the penalty against the Cats here.
There's absolutely no way that could have went just against the Wildcats. Absolutely no way. My goodness. That's bad.
Well, they marked it at the 10-yard line. Dean got back to the 20 on the return. They marked it half the distance to the 10, so they did just call it on the Wildcats, but unfortunately, they didn't see the guy. I mean, that's twice they've missed it. I mean, this guy, 23, I can show you, 23 for Bradford. He's grabbed Bearden's helmet both times and ripped it off during the kick. And in both cases, neither case has drawn a flag. And if I can see it from where I'm sitting up in the very top of the visitors' bleachers, there's no reason why an official on the field shouldn't be able to see that.
Well, the first time it happened on the Wildcat sideline, and everybody made them aware of it. So you know what? Yep. The next kickoff, if I'm the referee, you need to be looking for it.
Somebody should.
So let me see what this guy does this time. And he would have clearly seen Bearden get his helmet ripped off again.
Yeah. And so the Wildcats retaliate, get called for the penalty. And there you go. 1st and 10 now, Cats from the 10-yard line. And trust me, I'm not blaming Bradford for this. I'm blaming the officials.
That's right.
They got to take control. 1st and 10 from the 10-yard line.
Jabari Lewis checking into the game now at quarterback.
2 receivers left side for the Cats, 2 receivers to the right. Lewis, no backs in the backfield. 5 receivers set now. Wildcats going to fire one out here to the left. Catch is made by Blake Mays, and he's tackled out across the 20, but it'll be a first down catch as Blake Mays, a great possession receiver, goes up, catches the ball, and goes out of bounds. It'll be first down catch. Nice throw by Jabari Lewis that time.
Now I want you to see this. I want you to see our starting center having to go get his helmet where a Bradford defender ripped it off and chunked it about 30 yards into the end zone.
And no flag.
And no flags on the play. My goodness, these guys are out of control.
And they're going to make him come out for a play.
Oh, my goodness gracious.
It's just unbelievable. I mean, if you can't see guys ripping other guys' helmets off, you shouldn't be an official.
Not
just going to be honest.
No, not at all. You got to think something happened when he clearly had to go 30 yards to get that helmet, Mike.
First down and 10 now, Cats, after the pass completion to Blake Mays. Cats going to hand the ball off. No, Jabari Lewis runs his own read and takes it in there to Cam Smith, and Lewis lowers his shoulder and gets out across the 25 to the 27-yard line. And again, Cam Smith takes a pop in the backfield as they were keying on him. But Jabari Lewis, about a 6-yard gain out to the 27.
Yeah, good pull that time by Jabari Lewis. And what we've seen from Jabari Lewis last week again in that bowling game, he came in the game cold as all get out and started just throwing the ball down the field, Mike.
Second down 4, 5.5 minutes to go in the first half. Wildcats 7, Bradford, the Tornadoes 7. Ruiz takes the snap, pump fake at the line of scrimmage. He's under pressure. Ruiz fires one out here. Catch is made by Silas Roden, and Silas Roden fights his way near the first down. And you got to throw a late hit at some point, guys.
I mean, this is getting, I'm telling you, this is absolutely ridiculous.
Silas Roden caught the pass right along the sideline of the Wildcats, was pushed out of bounds, and pushed out of bounds again, and it's going to be third down and about a half a yard.
If you're not going to, if all you're going to call is a retaliatory penalty.
I tell you, and honestly, I don't want to make it a night where all we do is harp on the officials, but tonight, so far, Bradford's getting away with a lot of extra play after the whistle. Third down, handoff up the middle, and we got a big hole. Cam Smith, Davion Dean, across the 50, 45-40. Davion Dean loose inside the 30. He's going to get pulled down from behind inside the 25. On third and half a yard, Davion Dean is going to pick up inside the 20 here, 32 plus 15, about 47 yards on the carry. It'll be first down Wildcat.
What a huge play by Davion Dean, just right up the gut. He saw the three spike, and he hit it hard. Got up the field, and then it was off to the races, and he gets run down just outside the 20-yard line of the Bradford Tornadoes. So a great job by Davion Dean and this Wildcat offense.
5 minutes to go here in the first half. The Wildcats 7 and Bradford 7. Wildcats on the move. Jabari Ruiz in the shotgun at quarterback for the Cats. Two backs in the backfield. Ruiz going to hand the ball to Cam Smith. Cam Smith picks his way to the right. Cam Smith going to get down to the 20-yard line. Maybe a gain of 2, maybe 3 on the play. Maybe 2. Second down and 8 now for the Cats.
And again, just a lot of jawing at the line of scrimmage, Mike. The face mask stuff going on down there. But I tell you, in games like this, you know what counts, what does the loudest talking is that scoreboard.
That's right.
This Wildcat offense needs to punch one in right here.
Need to desperately. Second down, a long 8. Wildcats. Davion Dean is lining up behind center here, or Jabari Ruiz. Davion Dean out to the left. 3 receivers there, and Bradford's going to call a timeout. They had some personnel issues. They were trying to get a guy in late. They'll call a timeout here as the play clock expires. We're going to keep it here. 4:14 to go in the first half. Wildcats 7, Bradford 7. Wildcats with the football at the Bradford 20-yard line, facing a second down and a long 8. The good news here, Jackie, with 4:14 to go, the Wildcats should be in field goal range from here. I don't want to think about a field goal, but the Cats are in scoring position. We'll put it that way. Jackie, we talked about this matchup coming into the game tonight. You and I spent some time talking about it. You know, in the history of Wildcat football now, this is a regional final, or region final game. So the winner of this game claims what's called the region championship, right? So in the history of Wildcat football, we've only been in this game a total of 5 times, including tonight. Interesting when you put some perspective on it, because 1989 was the first time that happened when we lost to Sewanee in the region final. And then it took us all the way to 2017, and I did the math on that earlier, Jackie. I think it was like 28 years or something.
Yeah.
And 28 years later, we end up in another region final back in 17. But here's the key. In that 28-year span, no regional championships or no regional title games. But 4 of the last 5 years, the Wildcats have been in the region final. And let me tell you something, Jackie. The coaches who coach those teams to the region finals are the 2 head coaches here tonight.
In the region final.
That's right. In the region final. Jamie Rogers and Kevin Mays. Second down and 8. Jabari Ruiz in the shotgun. Ruiz takes the snap, going to give the ball to Dean, and Dean piles his way down toward the 15-yard line, lowers his shoulder, and another helmet gets ripped off by, there you go, finally.
Thank you.
Finally. And I don't know if they threw it on our offensive lineman for making such a big deal about it.
No.
He's just pleading his case. He's saying, please throw the flag.
I mean, that was after the play, too. I mean,
they're telling him to come back in. So, yeah, this flag is going to absolutely be against Bradford. Unsportsmanlike conduct against Bradford. There you go. So the play by Dean would have picked up 6 yards. It would have been third down and 3, but this unsportsmanlike on Bradford is going to give us the first down. And I know Jamie Rogers as well as anybody. Jamie Rogers is going to be talking to these guys about this at halftime, because eventually this was going to cost them. And I know he's seeing it, you know. And right now, if they continue to play like that tonight, that's just going to hurt their team, you know. And now the Wildcats first and goal inside the 10. First down play, Cam Smith got it, and Cam Smith piles inside the 5 here, down close to the 4-yard line. It'll be second down and goal from there. Gosh, you hate to come away with a field goal here. We need to punch this thing in. Maybe do something to try to get around the edge or something. I'm not sure, but luckily nobody lost their helmet this play. Second down and goal from inside the 5-yard line. Wildcats go quick. Blake May's back in there now. Blake May is going to hand the ball off. Davion Dean's got it. Dean lowers his shoulder. He's inside the 5 down to the 4-yard line, but stopped right away there. There'll be another flag down here. I think Dean got thrown down after the play.
See, and I'll tell you right now, that's absolutely...
I think a Bradford player might have just got ejected. I think a Bradford player might have just gotten ejected from this game, and Coach Mays is calling his team to the sideline. And they have ejected a player. I saw him. Yep. I'm not sure which guy it is, and I'm not going to speculate on that, but they are absolutely kicking a Bradford player out after that. And let me talk to you about hurting the team, Jackie. The defense for Bradford just made 2 good plays. They just stopped the Wildcats, you know, basically 1-yard runs on each of those carries. And, you know, but you got a guy right here, Davion Dean, who's having to get help to the sideline because of a cheap shot after the play right there. And that's just uncalled for. That's not part of the game.
No, not at all. Not part of the game at all. And Coach Mays is going to call all the Wildcats to the sideline right now. And I tell you what, I'm not sure if I don't use this for momentum. Don't do anything stupid, but if they're going to take cheap shots on your brothers out here on this football field, you make them pay for it.
Absolutely. And like I said, hey, Coach Rogers doesn't stand for that, all right? And Coach Rogers will get a hold of that in the locker room. But they just learned a hard lesson, because one of their guys is out of the game now, and Wildcats will have a first down and goal from the 2-yard line. And it would have been third and goal from the 5. So, you know, it's a big difference.
Yeah.
Big difference.
Tie ball game here, 7-7 with 3:29 to go in the second quarter. And more than anything is exactly what you said. Coach Rogers over there going, guys, you're costing us potential points right here.
Yeah. I mean, his guys are killing him right here, no doubt. It's going to be a first and goal from inside the 5-yard line.
So that's 2. Called a personal foul and then unsportsmanlike after the play.
Yeah, that's going to mark it half the distance from the 5. Should be around the 1.5, maybe the 2-yard line where they'll spot the ball, which is what I said should be first and goal from the 2-yard line. And you know as well as I do, for any football team, they're actually moving it all the way to the 1. You know, for any football team, Jackie, the deal is the closer you get to the goal line, the harder it is to score. Well, third and goal from the 5-yard line, as long as the Bradford guys just don't cost their team, we're sitting there facing third and goal from the 5. The pressure's on us to score. Now the pressure's squarely on Bradford to stop us from the 1-yard line. You would think 4 tries you can get the ball in from the 1. I would hope. Just can't do anything stupid. I'm with you. I mean, I hope that Coach Mays said, hey, we're doing the right thing here. We're not retaliating.
That's right.
We talk to the officials when something happens. And, you know, let them sort it out. And I think the officials finally, after almost two full quarters, have figured out where the issues were.
No doubt. And, I didn't mean that by, I just hope he used it for momentum again. Down there. And
absolutely.
Again, you know what talks the loudest at the end of this ball game, and that's the scoreboard.
All right, fans, let's get loud.
First and goal, Cats now inside the 1-yard line. We're going to split Silas Rosen to the right, Jared Bearden, and another Wildcat receiver out here to the left. And you've got Cam Smith, Blake Mays, and a blocking back in the backfield. I think that's Hudson Register in there. Handoff, Cam Smith, and Cam Smith hit at the 1-yard line. I don't know if he got in or not. He's close. He's close, but it's going to be second and goal.
Oh, man, these are the opportunities, and we have talked about it for years and years, and it's not just Kevin Mays. It's coach after coach that comes in here and just will not line up under center, and QB stick this thing in from the 1-yard line.
And he's got Hudson Register blocking in there for Cam Smith, and this time Cam Smith goes in, and the Wildcat fans say touchdown, and the official finally says touchdown. Behind the block of Hudson Register, and the Cats are on the board. Straight dive that time. Cam Smith 1-yard touchdown run. Wildcat fans celebrate. Whew.
Man, that was a lot to go on for 2:55 to go here in the second quarter. The Wildcats with a 13-7 lead.
13-7, now this critical extra point. Blake Mays, the snap is back to Davion Dean. He gets the snap down, and Mays has the kick right through there, and it's 14-7. And the Cats have taken momentum back from Bradford. Bradford scored a few moments ago. Let's take a 2-minute timeout and catch our breath. You're listening to the 2022 FHSAA 2S playoffs here on WFBB.
Since 1967, Dependable Heating and Air Conditioning has had the goal to acquire customers and maintain their complete satisfaction throughout the business relationship. Located in McClenny with almost 60 years of serving the McClenny area, excellence has been their hallmark. Did you know that now Dependable Heating and Air Conditioning also carries Amana products? Amana has been known since 1934 as having some of the most reliable and dependable heating and air conditioning systems in the business. If you're struggling with who to call for your air conditioning service, give them a call. Dependable Heating and Air Conditioning, 259-6546. That's 259-6546.
Dual State Real Estate is a proud supporter of Wildcat football. We offer home and land sales as well as property management in Florida and Georgia. Come in for a free consultation and we'll show you how to get up to 16% more for your property. Mention this ad and we'll give you free buyer representation. Don't hesitate, call Dual State, owned and operated by Sabrina Thrift. Call us today at 904-397-0263 or check us out at dualstaterealestate.com. We'll give you service you deserve from people you can trust. And at Dual State Real Estate, we are always Wildcat proud.
We live in the small towns of North Florida, and we deserve only the finest in healthcare. We're fortunate to have that right here in McClenny at Ed Frazier Memorial Hospital. Here, we receive personalized treatment options that focus on wellness. It's reassuring to know that our doctors are just as qualified as larger hospitals, and our medical technology is the best available. Ed Frazier Memorial Hospital at Baker County Medical Services. The best part? They treat you like family.
.23 to go in the first half here. Wildcats on top 14-7 over the Bradford Tornadoes on the road. Quarterback McKenzie facing a second down and 9 from the Bradford 20-yard line. Pollard in the backfield, and now a flag comes down. It's going to be delay of game. Wildcats stuck them for a 1-yard gain on first down. Now 5 yards back on the delay of game, and Bradford, after their touchdown a few moments ago, is self-destructing, Jack. Jack, I was giving some shout-outs a little bit earlier, and I got to tell you, a guy that was part of all those regional finals that we talked about, I haven't had a chance to run into him here tonight, but he's the head coach over in Dixie County now and former defensive coordinator for the Wildcats. I know Brock Kennedy's listening in.
My goodness, Coach Brock, man, we love him over here in Baker County. Coach under Kevin Mays and Jamie Rogers, so you know he's tuned into this one.
Hey, Brock, you hear me? Make sure you get over here and shake Jackie and my hand tonight. I know that. I got to say this. Buck's a great guy, and we over the course of these 27 years that I've been on the radio, Buck's one of the guys that came through here and played for the Wildcats. Then he comes through and coaches for the Wildcats, and he's been around the block. He went with Bobby Johns and Jamie Rogers to several locations in Live Oak and among other places. And you know, I got to tell you, just from the conversations I've had with Brock, I would think Dixie County being over there on that west, more along the lines of the west coast, so to speak, would be right up his alley.
There's no doubt about it. He loves the beach. He
Swanee River,
the Swanee River, and Horseshoe and Steenhatchee over there. If there was a town that was made for Coach Brock Kennedy, it's one of those. But we sure do miss him over here in Baker County, and glad he's listening in tonight. And one of those guys that, like many others that listen in, wore that Wildcat across his chest for 4 years. So that's what it's all about. We talked about it last week a little bit, and sure enough, right after we talked about it, Mike, a bunch of people, as I saw them the next day, Saturday, around town, just telling us, man, you made us tear up in your halftime speech there. And so it shows you all the people listening in.
Third down play now, second down play after the penalty. They're going to fire one out here to the left side. The receiver drops the football. The Wildcats get a hit on him after the play there. No harm, no foul. It'll be third down now. Bearden said, hey, how many times you ripped my helmet off? I'm going to hit somebody. Hey, yeah, listen, Jackie, we'll talk more about that at halftime tonight. Maybe this won't even be, maybe tonight won't be the last game. Let's just keep going.
No doubt about it. I'm going to tell you right now, third and about 13 here. If the Wildcats can get a stop with 1:59 to go, you don't want to give up a cheap one right before halftime, as Coach Rogers elected to defer to the second half. So the Tornadoes will get this ball to start the third quarter.
Third down now, third down in the shotgun. McKenzie rolling to his right. McKenzie under pressure. He's got to fire one to the left side. A catch is made over there. The Cats need to get him on the ground. He's going to be ahead to the 30 and out to the 35, and they're going to get a first down. My goodness, he went backside. They reversed the field on the Cats and threw backside to Pollard, and Pollard picked up just enough yardage to get the first down. And Bradford will keep the drive alive with 1:47 to go in the half.
Oh, and we had him. We had McKenzie, Mike, in the backfield. Again, we talked about it. You get your hands on those guys, you got to be able to bring him down. McKenzie able to escape and get that pass off. First down play now, Bradford from their own 37-yard line. A minute and a half to go in this game. McKenzie fakes the handoff and runs a little read play of his own to the left side. He's going to pick up about 3 yards. And a flag comes in late.
Late hit or something. Somebody's helmet came flying off on the Bradford side over there. And we'll have to check the flag here. 14-7, the Cats are on top. We're right at a minute and a half to go in this half of football. 14-7 game, and they're saying the Cats are pointing toward Bradford, so it's against the Tornadoes, who, I tell you what, we've had some games where the Wildcats have been called for a number of penalties. Bradford is just absolutely self-destructing with some penalties here in this second quarter. And I repeat, second quarter, because first quarter they could have been self-destructing, but took a little while for the officials to catch up with what was going on. Flag against Bradford is going to move them back to the 37-yard line here. It'll be second down and 11. Wildcats dig in on defense. Clock running under a minute and a half to go. McKenzie in the gun. Two receivers to the right, one back in the backfield, Pollard. They're going to fire it left side. Catch was made right there along the midfield stripe, and the receiver is going to stay on his feet, and he's like swinging punches at the defender to get him off of him, and it's almost like a street fight out there every time somebody gets the football.
Yeah, but again, I'll tell you what, if I'm Coach Mays, I'm disappointed in whoever it was that had the chance to make that.
Oh, yeah, you got to push him out of bounds. Got to get him on the ground. First down and 10 now from the 40-yard line. McKenzie in the gun. McKenzie is going to scramble out of there now, and he's going to get hit by the Wildcats. Actually, this is a different quarterback. They put McKenzie out, and they got Shanks in there now. Dejon Shanks. I think we saw him a little bit in the first game this year, Jackie. Shanks, number 6, has checked in the game, and McKenzie's out. And it's second down and 8. They're inside Wildcat territory at the 36-yard line. Trying to go fast here as the clock is their enemy, and they're going to spike the football here, and you're going to get a flag down. They're going to get an illegal formation. All the guys weren't set there at the end of that. They had 3 guys trying to get over here and get set before the play. They snapped it. He spiked it to the ground, but they weren't set. You're going to get 5 yards against Bradford. And then the clock should run.
Yeah, as soon as they set this ball, they should wind the clock.
Yeah, well, maybe they'll spell. It's still an incomplete pass, so I guess not. So second down 11, though, 39 seconds. The clock sits there, and Bradford's at the 42-yard line of the Wildcats. They're 42 yards from pay dirt. Cats on top by 7. Straight drop by Shanks. He's going to fire one deep down the left sideline. Cats have great coverage. Maybe on Dean over there, knocks it away. And great coverage by Dean as he's talking to the receiver a little bit. Blake Mays came over with the safety help.
Oh, Davion Dean and Blake Mays, perfect coverage that time. Ended up running into each other. I thought one of them was going to come down with that football. Shanks just laid it up there, and I saw Blake Mays deep. And I tell you, there's two guys I would not want to throw their way, and that's Davion Dean with Blake Mays over the top.
Third down 11 now. Big play here with 32 seconds to go in the half. Bradford just went for the home run, looking for maybe a pass interference or a touchdown there. Didn't get it. Now they've got a third and 11. Shanks, the quarterback now, straight drop. He's looking across the middle, fires one deep down the middle of the field. It's going to be picked off by Blake Mays. Blake Mays has got it. Blake Mays coming back to the 40. Blake Mays to 50. Blake Mays still on his feet. Blake Mays at the 35 of Bradford, and he's brought down. A huge interception by Blake Mays, and this Wildcat football team has stolen all the momentum from this stadium here at the end of the first half.
I just told you there's two people I wouldn't throw it towards. They try to go over the middle of the field, and Blake Mays plays that safety position as well as anybody. Gets his hands on that football. Hey, we saw him 5-1 in that bowling game that we wish he had now. He followed that interception and took it all the way deep into Bradford territory.
And now the Cats with 17 seconds on the clock. If we can pick up 10 yards, we can try a field goal. We just need about 10 yards to try a field goal. We're sitting at the 35 of Bradford, so you're looking at a 52-yarder from here. Mays has kicked a 47-yarder this year, so 10 yards, and we've got a chance to take a 10-point lead to the locker room.
Bradford County's going to call a timeout here. They don't like it.
Well, momentum. Momentum is so big in high school football, Jackie, and what I told you is anybody in the world would have told you today that Bradford was the favorite in this football game, and they were. But let me tell you what equalizes football games. It's big plays and turnovers. The Wildcats just got a big play and a turnover on the same play as Blake Mays comes up with the interception, so that's the turnover part. But then he makes a big play by returning it 48 yards back inside Bradford territory to the 35-yard line, and that sets up what could potentially be a 10-point halftime lead if the Wildcats can get a field goal try here before the half. Now, we have 2 timeouts remaining here, so we can throw something across the middle of the field. We can run the football. We got everything in the playbook here because we've got timeouts. Need to pick up between 7 and 10 yards and then try a field goal. Lewis takes the snap. Lewis straight drop. He's under pressure. Jabari's going to fire one out to the right side, incomplete. Now you got 12 seconds, 11. So Jabari was under pressure, but he didn't get sacked. Sack would have been, just take it to halftime now. But now the Cats with one more chance. If we could get between, I'll even say between 5 and 10 yards here, we can at least try a field goal.
Yeah, and if you're Coach Kevin Mays, I'd be telling Jabari, we got timeouts. We got over the middle of the field. Don't be scared to throw it over the middle of the field here.
Or take off and run. Just run a quarterback draw. You got 5 receivers spreading everybody out. Run a quarterback draw to the middle, try to pick up 5, 6 yards, and let's see if we can call a timeout and kick a field goal. Second down play, Lewis in the shotgun. Got to hurry. Now you got to call a timeout. No, he didn't get it off. Delay a game. Took too long, and Coach Mays, you got to call a timeout there. Got to call a timeout there. But still got a chance. Just need to throw a pass now for 10 to 15 yards.
I think at that point they're thinking, well, we were going to throw it down the field anyway. But
11 seconds left in the half. Jabari Lewis with 5 receivers. Lewis straight drop. Fires one down the left sideline. It's going to be overthrown over everybody. Now you've just got 5 seconds left on the clock. As they took the extra one off there, I noticed, Jackie, right toward the end. And
a little home cooking. A little home cooking on those seconds.
Nah. I kid, but I'm serious.
Hey, I told you, there's no love loss in this game right here.
5 seconds on the clock. The Cats now, the only thing we can do is try to get a 4-second completion and then kick the field goal, or just send everybody deep. Those are your 2 choices.
Yeah, what you don't want to do is mess around and throw an interception here.
Lewis, straight drop. He's going to scramble, so we're going to have to throw it deep, and Ruiz is just going to throw it deep down the field and look for a flag. We're not going to get one, and Ruiz gets hit over here, and that's going to end the half. So the Cats...
Oh, hang on.
Oh, there's a flag back here. Another Wildcat with her helmet off. Look at that. That could be a 15-yarder.
Yeah, absolutely going to be a 15-yarder.
And I tell you what now, well, I'm not even going to say it right now, but flag down on the play, so hold everything. You can't end the half on a flag. But you're right. I mean, he had to go all the way back there and pick his helmet up again after they threw it.
I don't know what you talk about here. Do you mark it from where his helmet landed?
It's 15 yards from the spot. Unsportsmanlike penalty. And I tell you, here's the thing: 55 is running off the field here. You know, you get two of those penalties, you're out. So he hasn't been caught for it yet, and now the Cats are going to get a chance to try the field goal. 15 yards. I told you that's what we needed, Jack. 25, you mark it back to the 32. This is a 42-yard field goal attempt from right down the middle, neither hash. Need a good snap. The snap is back. Dean's got it down. The kick is on the way. The kick has got plenty of distance. The kick is good. The Wildcats are taking a 10-point lead to the locker room here as we get a 15-yard penalty against Bradford, who's totally self-destructive in the second quarter of this football game. We'll talk about that and more after we take a 5-minute timeout here. You're listening to the 2022 FHSAA Class 2F playoffs right here on WFBB.
The Glen Baptist Church Ladies Ministry is excited to welcome Lauren Johnson as the guest speaker for our 2023 Ladies Retreat titled Rhythm of Grace. Our lives can get out of rhythm with all the demands placed on us, so join us to learn how to get back into a joyful rhythm with God's help. This 2-day event will be held at Glen Baptist Church, located in Glen St. Mary, and starts Friday, January 27th at 6 p.m. There will be food trucks and fellowship, followed by our opening session. This event is open to all ladies 9th grade and up. Clear your weekend, ladies, and tell your friends and family. We have been praying for big things from a big God. Registration for the weekend is only $25 and includes a voucher for free donuts to be redeemed Saturday morning, a t-shirt, and a box lunch on Saturday. So head over to our Facebook page at Glen Baptist Church and get signed up today. Registration ends January 12, 2023. We look forward to seeing you embrace God's rhythm of grace for your life at this very special ladies event.
Have you ever thought about cleaning out your garage or wonder what you need to do with all those aluminum cans or scrap metal you've got laying around in the backyard? Well, look no further. You just need to load it up and head to American Recycling. Tim Hughes owns and operates American Recycling on Woodlawn Road in McClenny, Florida. They're open Monday through Friday, 9 a.m. to 5 p.m., and on the second and fourth Saturdays of every month from 9 a.m. to noon. Stop by and see Tim and maybe even cash in on that stuff you've got laying around. Tim and American Recycling say, go Wildcat.
Did you know that walking just 10,000 steps a day helps keep you healthy? And it's easy. 20 minutes of grocery shopping is 1,600 steps. Daily housework is 270. Taking a half-hour walk during lunch, around 4,000 steps. You can see how this adds up. 10,000 steps will find you a healthy weight and even reduce your risk of heart disease, diabetes, and stroke. Feeling healthier starts with the first step. A message from the Florida Department of Health.
Baker County Farm Bureau wants to wish the Baker County Wildcats much success this football season. Baker County Farm Bureau, specializing in auto insurance, homeowners insurance, along with life insurance. To get started with Farm Bureau, contact Jack Baker or Justin Webb at 259-6332. That's 259-6332.
Hi, this is Larry Birkins of Birkin Chevrolet in McClenny. It is truly an honor to help make these Wildcat radio broadcasts possible. Birkin Chevrolet with sales and service 6 days a week. Cars, trucks, SUVs, certified used cars. We help customers establish or reestablish credit. Thank you, Wildcat fans. From Larry Birkins at Birkin Chevrolet, US 90 in the heart of McClenny.
Online at BirkinChevy.com.
Baker Rural Health Clinic in McClenny serves the community with clinical care at a discounted rate. If you're uninsured, income-based payment considerations will be made. If cost stands between you and a healthcare solution, Baker Rural Health Clinic can help. For more information, visit bakerrhc.org. That's bakerrhc.org. Baker Rural Health Clinic. We treat you like family. Walk-ins welcome.
Since 1967, Dependable Heating and Air Conditioning has had the goal to acquire customers and maintain their complete satisfaction throughout the business relationship. Located in McClenny with almost 60 years of serving the McClenny area, excellence has been their hallmark. Did you know that now Dependable Heating and Air Conditioning also carries Amana products? Amana has been known since 1934 as having some of the most reliable and dependable heating and air conditioning systems in the business. If you're struggling with who to call for your air conditioning service, give them a call. Dependable Heating and Air Conditioning, 259-6546. That's 259-6546.
Dual State Real Estate is a proud supporter of Wildcat football. We offer home and land sales as well as property management in Florida and Georgia. Come in for a free consultation and we'll show you how to get up to 16% more for your property. Mention this ad and we'll give you free buyer representation. Don't hesitate, call Dual State, owned and operated by Sabrina Thrift. Call us today at 904-397-0263 or check us out at dualstaterealestate.com. We'll give you service you deserve from people you can trust. And at Dual State Real Estate, we are always Wildcat proud.
We live in the small towns of North Florida, and we deserve only the finest in healthcare. We're fortunate to have that right here in McClenny at Ed Frazier Memorial Hospital. Here, we receive personalized treatment options that focus on wellness. It's reassuring to know that our doctors are just as qualified as larger hospitals, and our medical technology is the best available. Ed Frazier Memorial Hospital at Baker County Medical Services. The best part? They treat you like family.
Most of us like to be out in the sun. That's why sunscreen and other safety measures are key to protecting your skin from aging and cancer. The FDA recommends using a sunscreen with an SPF of 15 or higher. Also, look for broad spectrum on the label. That means both harmful ultraviolet A and B rays are blocked. Remember, SPF plus broad spectrum equal healthy fun in the sun. Visit www.fda.gov/sunscreen for more information. A message from the U.S. Food and Drug Administration.
And we welcome you back here to Bradford High School over in Stark, Florida. Excited tonight's matchup in the region final in Class 2-2S. The Wildcats of Baker County on the road facing the Bradford Tornadoes, and we knew it was going to be a dandy, and buckle up, folks. We're going to have a whale of a second half here, I can almost assure you. The Cats on top right now, 17-7. at the halftime break, and a lot of things happened in that first half. We'll try to unpack it a little bit here, but I want to thank sponsors just for a moment. Baker County Farm Bureau, Jack Baker, Justin Webb, bringing us our halftime report each week, and appreciate them bringing Wildcat football to you each and every week. And Jackie, what a first half we just saw. The Wildcats got on the board first, 7-0. They had the lead. Bradford came back, made it a 7-7 ball game. Bradford was driving with a lot of momentum and running the football well, but the Wildcats able to come back, take a 14-7 lead late in the half, and then inexplicably Bradford throws an interception here late in the half, and because of these turnovers, big plays, and I'll just say it, penalties on the Bradford side, Baker County has been able to extend this lead to 17-7 with a 42-yard field goal there by Blake Mays right as the horn. Well, actually, the horn had already expired. The penalty made it to where there was another play because you can't have a penalty to end the half. So, oh, man, I tell you, a lot to talk about. But overall, right now, Cats up by 10, 17-7. And I told you, the Wildcats were the underdog. You came in here, you're on the road. This is the number one seed in the region. You got to have big plays. You got to have turnovers. You got to have things go your way. Right now at the half, as we sit here, things are going the Wildcats' way, and they're up 17-7.
Well, everything we talked about, the keys to success for this Wildcat football team to win this ball game, Bradford County is doing the complete opposite, Mike. We talked about we didn't need to have very many penalties. Bradford County has been penalized heavily there in the first half.
Yeah.
We needed a couple turnovers. We got them. Bradford drove all the way down to the Baker County 1-yard line, and Mekhi Mosley comes up with a huge fumble and returns it to the opposite end. Blake Mays at the end of the half there comes up with a huge interception just when Bradford's threatening again. Interception, return all the way down to the 30-yard line of Bradford. So when this Wildcat team needed a big play or needed to flip the field, they've been able to come up with it tonight.
Yeah, I mean, it's been interesting, you know. Some things have worked for us offensively. Some good zone read calls by both Jabari Ruiz and by Blake Mays. The zone read has been very effective. They've keyed on Cam Smith, you know, tonight. Cam Smith hasn't been able to get loose, but that's been kind of the Wildcats game plan. You can tell, you know. Hey, we'll use Cam Smith as the decoy tonight. We know Bradford's going to key on him. They have all night long, and you know, it's working right now. You know, the other thing that's working is, you know, Bradford's hurting themselves. You know, they you know, this has been, you know, as far as the scoreboard goes, as far as, you know, probably yards and everything else, if you added it all up, it's probably pretty even. But the 10 points on the board comes because the Cats have gotten 2 big turnovers. One turnover, Mekhi Mosley picked up a fumble and raced all the way back to the other end to make it a 7-0 game Wildcats before Bradford could score first. And that was the key. I said, hey, Wildcats need to get out early. And then, you know, later on in the half there, Blake Mays picks off the interception. A play after, he and Davion Dean were down the sideline over there, made a good play. So, you know, some big plays, some turnovers, those things are going the Wildcats' way. Hey, don't overlook that 42-yard field goal. What a difference maker that is, you know. They rip another guy's helmet off, get a 15-yarder. They would have been in the locker room. Had you not made that penalty, your team would have been in the locker room. So that gives Coach Rogers ammunition to go to those guys and say, hey, you just cost us 3 points because the half was over.
Yeah,
I don't know. Yeah, I don't know if they can get that under control. It's been undisciplined the whole half, but I know they'll be working on that, and I hope so because you want to see a good, clean football game.
Yeah, just a lot of emotion, Mike. I tell you, I mean, besides everything else that this game brings this year, this rivalry goes back for years and years. We've seen it a lot more chippy than this when we didn't know who the coach was on the other side, you know. So, I mean, just one of those atmospheres that it's packed in here. You knew a bunch of people were going to come. You're in the third round of the playoffs, a region final. That amps up the intensity a little bit. So, overall, you knew it was going to be chippy from the get-go. Wildcats have done a great job of not retaliating to get a penalty going against us. So, we got to keep that up. One of our inside sources said we slowed the run game down for Bradford. They drove it down. Their second drive of the game rode Pollard all the way to the 1-yard line, and then we talked about the huge turnover, and since then, not a whole lot doing in the rush game for Bradford County. So this Wildcat defense doing a great job.
17-7, Wildcats on top. at the halftime break. Want to give a couple more shout-outs. Jackie, I got a cousin that works down there with Superintendent Sherry Rollerson, works with her every day. Her name's Amy Sapp. She's a Cruz, but she's a Sapp, so she can be both. Amy Sapp, she works down there with Sherry every day, and I sent her a text. I don't remember, yesterday or the day before, because she turned 40.
Oh, you weren't supposed to say that. You were supposed to say happy birthday.
Oh, my bad. I thought on those big ones you could say it. My bad, Amy. 30. She turned 30 yesterday. The big 3-0. My bad. But it was a big milestone birthday for Amy this week. Want to tell her happy birthday. Gosh, she's probably mad at me now.
I got to sing.
See, I don't think about things like that, you know? Oh, you did?
Yeah, I was at the school board meeting. We had our two newest school board members get sworn in, and they sang happy birthday to Amy. So,
oh, well, Amy,
shout-outs from everywhere.
Well, now I'm hoping she didn't hear me say that. 'Cause anyway,
she'll forgive you.
She definitely doesn't look whatever age I said. She looks well younger than that. So happy birthday to her. Heard from some guys, Jackie, every year around Thanksgiving, we got all these guys that get in their trucks and they load all their dog boxes up and they ride all the way out to Arkansas to do hunting out there. And we got a bunch of Wildcat fans listening in way out there in Arkansas tonight. I talked to C.J. Knowles before the game. You know, his son Briar here on the football team, so he had to stay and watch the game. But then he's heading out. And I know I talked to my friend Randall Connor yesterday. He's out there listening to Wildcat football. Mike Rogers, I talked to Mike Rogers today, and Mike Rogers, big Wildcat supporter.
My brother-in-law's out there.
I wonder if Mike Rogers was rooting for Baldwin or Baker County last week. What do you think?
I know where his heart lies, but he did text and say good win. So
I wonder who he's rooting for right now between Florida and Florida State, because as I can see, it's a barn burner, 21-all at almost halftime. Anyway, nobody gave the Gators much of a chance, so those Seminole fans are probably a little nervous right now. Either way, it doesn't matter. We'll watch the rest of it when we get done here. Still, don't text me about that game. We'll see it when we get done here. But, hey, big shout-out to all the big Wildcat fans out there listening in. And, you know, we talked to so many people, Jackie, and I did last week. I wanted to make a point, you know, kind of send a message and kind of share how I even came into the being of Wildcat football. And I want folks to know, because I've had a lot of people ask me, why are you quitting, you know? And I just want people to know. I had to make some personal decisions around some things that are happening, you know, within my family. A lot of people may not know this, but I lost a spouse last year, and it was very tough. And so over the course of the last year, a lot of things fell on me to handle. Not that I shy away from that, but it just changes your life and perspective on a lot of things. And the truth of the matter is, Jackie, I just want to reclaim some of that time. And I told you I spent some 25 of the last 27 years with the Jaguars, and I also ended that last year. My good friends that are probably listening in tonight, Gary Pelham and Greg Harrison, they both are continuing on with the Jaguars right now. And Gary Pelham's been working there for a year or two longer than I have, so he loves it. And one of my best friends, and Gary Pelham was my high school baseball coach, if you want to know. And he ended up being, I had a long conversation with Greg Harrison today, because we were talking about some football records and this and that and the other, and, you know, just talking about some setups for things that you and I could talk about on the radio tonight. And gosh, you know, between Coach Bobby Harrison and Coach Gary Pelham, you know, those guys were the face of Wildcat football for a long time. You think about Danny Green was the head coach, I think Greg said today, from 1981 to 1990. And then Gary Pelham took over the football team, I want to say 91, 92, and then Danny Green came back 93, 94. So, you know, between that time, I mean, those guys were, you know, the heart of Wildcat football. And you talk to a lot of those old-timers today. I called my brother-in-law an old-timer. You know, David Hurst, he's down there in Ocala. I had turkey with him yesterday. And he still talks about Coach Harrison and some of the things that those coaches used to say to him out there on the practice field. Man, I tell you, Wildcat football has just been a part of all of us for so long. And I grew up right around the corner, right out there on Bob Burns's Road from Coach Harrison. And Greg and I played basketball and football and baseball, whatever was in season. And so growing up as a kid, you know, Wildcat football and Gator football, those were things that we, you know, just cling to, and something for us to do. But Jackie, it's been fun, man. I hope it doesn't end tonight. We'll keep going until next week. Like I said, if the Wildcats win tonight, we'll be in the Final Four again, second year in a row. And last 5 years, man. Can you believe it? 5 times we've played in the regional final, and 4 of the last 5 years are when we've done it.
Yeah, you and I talked about it, and, I mean, you put that into perspective, Mike. The first regional final game that we won was in '89, and not going to another one for 28 years, 27, 28 years, and then you get a little stretch here, you go on a little run. This is the 3rd regional final that Coach Mays has played in. He's 1-1 in regional final games. We won 1 and we lost 1, came up short 2 years ago. But last year we won, went down to Miami Central in that Final Four game, and then Coach Jamie Rogers, he had taken us to 1 before that, and the only time the Wildcats have made an appearance in a state championship game was under his tenure after that regional final win. So some great coaching going on these sidelines, and we appreciate those guys very much. And we were lucky to have Coach Rogers come back home and do what he did, and lucky to have Coach Kevin Mays now. You know, again, you talk about 3 regional finals in a row. That may not sound like much to you, but when you look at the history of Wildcat football, that's a huge feat. I mean, that's a huge feat. No other coach in Wildcat history has done it.
That's right. Yeah, Kevin Mays, the last couple of years have been fantastic. The years with Jamie Rogers before that were fantastic. Some of the years we had with Bobby Johns back in the mid-2000s, fantastic. You know, Bobby Johns is one of my favorite coaches here with the Wildcats. Just a tough guy, you know, just a tough guy. They're tough, hard-nosed guys that want to play football. And the one thing I was going to say, though, the only thing I like to point out is the fact that, you know, when Danny Green did it back in '89, it was such a different environment in high school football back then because only the district champion made it to the state playoffs. And so it was so much harder back then to make the playoffs, which is why it took the Wildcats so long to get there, honestly. I mean, that's the reason why. And once we got there and once they started this, you know, top 2 teams in the district, and now I think it's an even more fair process now with the point system and everything else. You know, we have a greater opportunity. But the coaches that have been here have done a whale of a job to put us in this position. So here we are, a halftime lead and 2 quarters away from going to another Final Four. Blake Mays gets his foot into the 3rd quarter kickoff, and it's going to be taken at the 3-yard line. Return man for the Bradford Tornadoes is back across and he's loose out across the 30 to the 40-yard line. He makes one man miss at midfield, and that's how you equalize the game. You take the opening kickoff of the second half, 98 yards, and that's what Bradford has just done. And they cut this lead from 17 to 7 to 17 to 13 in one play.
Golly, that's frustrating. We've done such a good job on special teams all year long, Mike. And that one, Blake Mays trying to get into the end zone in high school football. If it goes into the end zone at all, it's a touchback. Return man gets it at the 1-yard line, makes a couple Wildcats miss, and you got to run your lanes, guys. You got to run your lanes, and that time 2 Wildcats get mixed up inside, and the Bradford return man's able to bounce it out. My goodness, just when you had all the momentum, Mike.
Oh, yeah, I was just about to say, you know, you can take the opening drive of the second half, and you can drive it down, and you can score a touchdown, but nothing grabs momentum like a kickoff return, and that was number 4 for Swanee, which is Demetrius Pringle. He's a senior on this team, number 4, and he made a play for his team when they needed one, and we'll see what kind of inspired effort the Wildcats have coming out from the halftime break, but that was huge for Bradford to get back in this football game. I mean, it was only a 10-point lead, but now just a 3-point separation and only 20 seconds off of the second half clock.
Well, that's what I'm with you there. You know, if you made them drive the length of the football field there and they put 7 on the board, you still got a lead, and a couple things could have happened there where you kept some momentum, but you let the opening kickoff go back. You could just kind of see it drain a little bit of that energy we had on the sideline. So the Wildcats need an answer here.
Well, that's why this game, every score is so important. The Cats worked really hard to get those 17 points on the board in the first half. And now, going into the second half, Bradford about to kick off again. 2 minutes or just under 20 seconds going in the half. Silas Roden calls for a fair catch here on the kickoff, and they're going to take it from the 32-yard line. It'll be 1st and 10 from there for the Cats. And, oh, man, a big load was taken out of this Wildcat crowd on that kickoff return, I tell you.
Yeah, no doubt about it. As the Wildcats came out on the field to start that third quarter, these Wildcat fans were pumped up. And just like that, you could have heard a pin drop as they saw him break across the 40-yard line with one man to beat.
But you saw it coming, Jackie, when he crossed the 30. But I heard you behind me say, oh.
But I'm going to tell you, we talked about it. This is a heavyweight bout. Can you take the hits and punch back?
You got to. Well, hey, if you were going to win this game, you knew Bradford was going to come out and make a run at you. They just made it a little sooner than you thought they would. So the Wildcats just have to get in there and let's play some football. 1st down and 10. Here we go. Handoff straight ahead. The Wildcats are going to run it with Davion Dean, and Bradford's going to give up a yard or two and then push him back from there. Call it a 2-yard gain. It'll be 2nd down and 8. Bradford defensive line so tough. Calling a good 2-yard gain there for Dean, and you're going to have Blake Mays flanked by Davion Dean to the left, and you're going to send Cam Smith out in the slot formation here. 2nd down play, pass play. Mays under pressure, rolling to his right, throws one out here. A catch is made, and a catch is made right at the 1st down marker. So Josh Holmes underneath, just a little quick pass there, about a 6-yard pass, and then Holmes lunges ahead for a couple, and it's going to be half a yard short. So 3rd and a half a yard.
Oh, man, these Wildcat offensive guys. I need these skill guys to dive for those last half yards. Good tough run that time by Josh Holmes. Good job by Blake Mays to extend the play.
Mays in the gun, takes the handoff to Dean. Mays is going to get the 1st down toward the sideline, and he's going to get out of bounds close to the 45-yard line. Zone read play there. And one of the Bradford players is hurt laying on the field there. We're going to have to check on that here for a moment. But 10 and a half minutes to go here in the 3rd quarter. Cats on top by 3. Bradford returned the opening kickoff of the 2nd half back for the touchdown. And now Cats pick up a 1st down on this play and move the chain. So a good start here for the Wildcats. 2nd half offensive momentum.
Davion Dean was in at running back on that play, and the same thing Cam Smith dealt with in the whole 1st half. Davion Dean got a taste of it as Blake Mays faked it to him, and they just blew Davion Dean up. So Blake Mays pulls it out of there and picks up the 1st down easily. But Davion Dean takes the hit on that play.
You think maybe Cam said to him, hey, your turn.
Yeah,
I'm tired of being the decoy.
Well, you talked about it. You know, we watched Coach Jamie Rogers and his stint down at Swanee as the head coach, and then right here in Baker County. I've watched him take a lot of good running backs out of commission as far as just not letting a lot happen, you know, with his tenure here.
Shutting them down.
Yeah. And so far, you knew going into the game they weren't going to let Cam Smith beat them. And other guys needed to step up and make plays. And in that 1st half, they did. Blake Mays made some huge plays. Davion Dean, Mekhi Mosley on the fumble return. Guys out there making plays.
Jamie Rogers, I'll tell you a story. Jamie Rogers, going back into the Wildcat radio history here. The 1st year that I called football with Bobby Hart, Jamie Rogers was a senior on the Wildcat football team. And he wore number 45, Jackie. And what position do you think he played?
Well, I've seen the highlight film in VHS. So. Fullback.
He played fullback. And let me tell you something. There were games that I went to where I saw Jamie Rogers have to get brought down by, 4 or 5 guys carrying him. And he's tough. Jamie Rogers is one of the toughest people that you'll meet. And he instills that on his defense. Now, all that stuff we were talking about, the undisciplined stuff in the 1st half, he doesn't teach that. But he's probably got that under control for the 2nd half, so the Wildcats going to have to go earn this thing. Cam Smith on the 1st down carry here. 1st down out across the 45 to the 48-yard line. Give Cam Smith 3 yards on the carry. The Wildcats now trying to get a drive going here after they gave up that touchdown. If every time you score now, if they score, you score. You trade scores here, you're in good shape.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm thinking the same thing. And if you pick up 3 yards on every play like Cam Smith did right there, you're in real good shape.
2nd down, call it a long 6. Davion Dean in motion, going to hand the ball again to Cam Smith. He's fighting his way. There he goes. 45-40, Cam Smith. Shoestring tackles him at the 35-yard line. Cam Smith almost broke it to the house. A good gain by Cam Smith, 18 yards and a Wildcat first down.
Oh, my goodness. You talk about a shoestring tackle. I've never seen one in real life. That was a shoestring tackle, Mike. My goodness. The safety for Bradford just kept Cam Smith out of the end zone with a fingertip.
36-yard line of the Bradford Tornadoes. Blake Mays in there. Cam Smith in the backfield. 2 receivers left, 2 to the right. There goes Dean in motion. Going to hand the ball to Davion Dean. He's going to get around the corner. Davion Dean's got the 35. Davion Dean's going to get to the 30, and he's going to bounce it out of bounds right at the 31-yard line. So Davion Dean's going to pick up 5, maybe 6 yards here on first down on just a little sweep play to the left.
They had nothing fancy that time, just Davion Dean right around the outside there. They're going to get a good 4 yards on first down, so the Wildcats lead 17-14. Took a 17-7 lead into halftime. Bradford answers on the opening kickoff of the third quarter. But now the Wildcats trying to put together a drive.
Wildcats, second down, call it 6 from the 32-yard line of Bradford, trying to answer this kickoff return that Bradford had to start the second half. Cam Smith inside the 35, and Cam Smith slides down to the 26-yard line. Cam Smith, another good run, 5 yards down to the 26-yard line. And we love to see another play here. It'll be third down and call it half a yard.
Oh, my goodness. That time Cam Smith slid down there. Those are the ones you got to pick up the first down there. It's going to be 3.5 yards. Try to maybe draw them all sides here.
Third down, Davion Dean's going to carry it straight ahead. Davion Dean gets hit at the line of scrimmage, but second effort, he's going to get it down to the 25-yard line. Davion Dean just drove his shoulder into the linebacker there and made a big play for the Wildcats, and we're going to get the first down.
Boy, that's just a great tough run by Davion Dean. There was nothing doing there, and a good second effort, and just kept driving those legs. Davion Dean picks up a huge first down.
25-yard line of Bradford now, and you see some of those defensive linemen are winded out there for Bradford now, taking a knee in between plays. The Wildcats offensive line really doing a good job on this possession, trying to just see if we can get this thing back to a two-possession game. Blake Mays in the gun, 1st and 10 from the 25. Cam Smith got it. He's going to be inside the 25, but not much further than that. Maybe a yard. Be second down and 9.
And not a whole lot doing in the middle there, but you're right. I haven't given those guys a shout-out all night. That offensive line doing a great job tonight on that massive defensive front for Bradford.
Massive front is exactly right. Second down 9. Mays in the shotgun. 2 receivers to the right, 2 to the left. Cam Smith is the tailback. Second down play. Mays looks downfield to the right side. Dean was down there. He was double covered, and Dean never looked back for the ball, and I think maybe they ran the wrong route there.
Yeah, somebody was on the wrong route. I see another one of those athletes on the Baker County offense patting his chest saying, my bad.
Well, here's the position that you're in right now. So it's third down and 9. We're at the 24-yard line of Bradford. Definitely in field goal range, but a field goal only gives us a 6-point lead. But you take points any way you can get them, I believe, if it's me. Third down, Mays takes the snap, straight drop, looks to throw, now he's going to run it, and Mays slips down. He had a little bit of room to run. I'm not sure if he'd have picked up the first down yardage, but he slips down at the 25, and they're going to send the field goal team in.
Oh, my goodness. That was disappointing out there on that artificial turf. This Wildcat team, not a lot of games on that turf, and Blake Mays changed his mind at the last second. His feet just came out from under him. They're going to line up for a long field goal here.
Yeah, same distance, just the other end of the field. So he kicked it the other way last time, 42 yards, this time from the right hash. Snap is down, the kick is on the way. He's got the distance, but he might have pulled it left. He pulled it left, Jackie. He had plenty of distance on the kick. It's no good. And Bradford has held. Wildcats put together about a 5-minute drive here, run it to 7 minutes on the clock, but momentum's on Bradford's side. Let's take a 30-second timeout. You're listening to the 2022 FHSAA playoffs on WFBB.
Have you ever thought about cleaning out your garage or wonder what you need to do with all those aluminum cans or scrap metal you've got laying around in the backyard? Well, look no further. You just need to load it up and head to American Recycling. Tim Hughes owns and operates American Recycling on Woodlawn Road in McClenny, Florida. They're open Monday through Friday, 9 a.m. to 5 p.m., and on the second and fourth Saturdays of every month from 9 a.m. to noon. Stop by and see Tim and maybe even cash in on that stuff you've got laying around. Tim and American Recycling say, go Wildcat.
And we welcome you back here, middle part of the third quarter from Bradford High School. The Bradford High Tornadoes taking on the Wildcats of Baker County. 17-14, the Wildcats on top right now. Bradford on first down decides to go back to Pollard. He picks up about 5. Second down and 5 now from the 25-yard line. McKenzie back in there at quarterback for Bradford, and they're going to run Pollard again straight ahead. He's going to go to the 30-yard line. Remember, in high school football, on a missed field goal, the ball goes to the 20-yard line, so it's like a touchback. So even though we missed a 42-yarder, you know, take it from the 20, you know, it's almost like, hey, why don't we just try a 70-yarder every time? They have to go to the 20, right? You know? So mid-quarter timeout here. We'll keep it here during the break. Want to thank all the Wildcat sponsors who make it possible. I know we talk about them all during the year, but I had a chance to catch up with some of the guys that we talk about during the Thanksgiving break. I talked to my friend Oscar Gray, Dependable Heating and Air Conditioning. We do a coaches show each and every Monday. Last Monday I was out of town, so I wasn't able to get back in time to do a show. So if you were looking for a coaches show last week, that was purely my fault because I was out of town for work, wasn't able to get back in time, and Jackie's got all kind of coaching obligations during the week, so he's hard to reach. To say the least. But my friend Oscar, I hope you had a great Thanksgiving, and Dependable Heating and Air Conditioning. I see Sabrina Thrift sitting over here to our left-hand side. Jackie, she's with Dual State Real Estate. And also want to thank one of the new sponsors that came on this year, our guy Robbie down there at Tailored Healthcare. Tailored Healthcare, the only thing they like seeing more than the Wildcats win on the field is seeing patients have success with their health. They've been taking new patients. You know, Tailored Healthcare is right there in McClenny. They offer all kind of unique primary care that's tailored to each person. All you got to do is give them a call, 259-5929. If you've been looking for a new primary care, somewhere to go see a doctor, get that blood work done, and just somebody that you can talk to about your health, give Robbie a call or give Tailored Healthcare a call down there at 259-5929. And they joined us this year. Also want to thank our buddy Tim Hughes out there at American Recycling. Tim Hughes, I haven't seen Tim in a while. Maybe I'll run into him here soon, but good guy. And let me tell you something about Tim Hughes. He loves the Wildcats. Second down coming up for Bradford. 5:37 to go here in the third quarter. I'm sure I left somebody off with the sponsors. We'll get back to it. I know I left Larry Berkins off. We'll talk about that in a second. Bradford's going to fire to the right side, and the ball goes through one receiver's hands, and the Wildcats almost have a chance to pick it off, and it goes to the second receiver, and he catches it somehow with a knee on the ground, and it's down right there. That was just a fortunate play for the Tornadoes.
Oh, my goodness. Going to bring it out. That would have been a huge incomplete pass there. It was second down and about 10. Now it's going to bring up third and a yard here. Let's see if this Wildcat defense can get a push.
Third down and 1 coming up. Third down and 1 for Bradford. They need to get it across the 40-yard line for a first down. They're sitting on the 39. Shotgun formation. McKenzie going to run it straight ahead. The Wildcats hit him behind the line of scrimmage, and they push him backwards. He didn't get there. He's a yard short of the first down, a full yard.
What a great push that time. Looked like big Hunter Nordstrom normally plays offensive line in there on that defensive front. Bust through the line of scrimmage there, and Bradford's going to have to think about it here.
Yeah, they're going to have to think about it. I mean, if I'm Jamie Rogers, I line it up and run Pollard and tell my team we got to go get that yard, but it's a big situation. Fourth down and 1. McKenzie in the shotgun. He's going to run it straight ahead again, and he's got a first down and more. McKenzie's off to the races. He's down the sideline, and McKenzie's going to take it all the way to the house. On 4th and 1, They go all the way down the field and score a touchdown. And two Bradford guys back here roughing up Wildcat players behind the play, and no flags. And the Bradford Tornadoes have stolen all the momentum back in this football game, Jackie. On a 4th and 1 play, they go 55 yards for the touchdown.
Oh, my goodness, what a heartbreaking play that was. Wildcats had just forced them on 3rd and a half a yard, pushed them back an additional half yard, and on 4th and 1. McKenzie looked untouched there.
He didn't get, he broke through the right side of the line, Jackie, and nobody touched him. He was off to the races. And we had everybody in tight. You wonder how that can happen. Well, on 4th and 1, it can happen because we've got everybody in tight just trying to stop a 1-yard play from happening, let alone a 60-yard play from happening, you know. But once a guy with speed like McKenzie gets past that initial line, nobody was going to chase him down. And Bradford, 14 unanswered points here in the 3rd quarter, and they've taken a 21-17 lead on the Wildcats.
Yeah, we got to find a way to put some points on the board right here, Mike. I mean, you get one score, and all the momentum comes back to your sideline. This game's not out of reach by any stretch of the imagination. Tornadoes lead 21-17 here. The Wildcats offense on that last drive moved the ball down the field well, you know, and then kind of stalled at about the 25, 30-yard line. Well, that's what I was going to say, Jack. How about this? Just if I'm Coach Mays, all right, calm down. Yeah, we knew they were going to make a run at us. We got to stand tall. We got to do what we've been doing. Offense has been moving the football. We just got to convert, you know. Just got to convert. But Bradford definitely with the momentum right now. 3:54 to go, 3rd quarter, 21-17 Bradford. A lot of ball game left, and again, if your offense had stalled all night, that'd be one thing. But you're moving the ball. I mean, you've done everything you need to do. Just settle in, and Cam Smith was close to breaking a big one.
Bradford's going to be offsides on the kick here. They kicked a high kick this time to see if they could get some coverage down there. I guess what's going on with Bradford, this kicker doesn't have the leg to send it all the way to the end zone for touchback. They're trying to come up with some unique ways to keep the Wildcats from returning one. And you saw what can happen in the return game when Bradford opened the second half with one. So Davion Dean's back there. So this time the kicker comes up and puts a high kick, but the little bit of extra effort he had to put into that sent everybody across the line, so they're offside. So you got to back it up 5, and now it's even more dangerous for you. And I'd love to see one of those explosive plays for us. You know, Cam Smith a moment ago was a shoestring from a touchdown run.
Heartbreaker.
You had Davion Dean loose tonight. You had Mekhi Mosley loose. And every single time, it's just a little bit of a tackle that gets us and throws us off. I feel like we're going to bust one, though. I feel like we are.
I'm here for it.
3:54 to go, 3rd quarter, 21-17. Bradford on top. High kickoff coming down. Davion Dean's going to go back to the 10 to get it. He's going to come back across the 15 and out to the 20. And Davion Dean flags all over the field. Gets it out to the 27. And if these are against the Wildcats for blocks in the back, that's going to back us up on the kick return here. Oh,
man.
Those are things that can work against you, unfortunately.
Yeah, no doubt about it. And again, you talk about momentum in a high school football game and what it means. The Wildcats had all the momentum the majority of the ball game, and just like that, when the 3rd quarter starts, Bradford's hit a couple big plays here to take the lead. And you see all the energy just kind of blow out of these Wildcats. And that's going to back them up to the 10-yard line here, so the Wildcat offense is going to need to put together a drive.
Going to have to. From inside the 10-yard line now, after those penalties on the kickoff, Cats are backed up. Jabari Lewis is going to be in there at quarterback for the Cats on this possession. 2 receivers to the left, 2 to the right. Actually, I see 3. Cam Smith kind of slipped in at the slot formation over there. We got a 5-receiver set, and nobody knows the play. Davion Dean pushing Jabari out of the way, and he was going to take the snap. So confusion on the Wildcat side, and Bradford's got the momentum, Jack, and we got to come up with some way to steal it back.
Yeah, and I mean, on a play like that, we just couldn't get it in. You kind of knew if Jabari Lewis was checking into the game, you kind of knew what was coming there, and just a little miscommunication. Jabari Lewis couldn't get the play. Davion Dean was trying to yell for him, but a loud environment here. Tried to go over and take it himself, but Coach Mays elected to call a timeout.
Yeah, the Bradford fans, I tell you what, we were wondering before the game just how crowded this game would be, Jackie, but I want you to take a look around. There's not a standing room spot along the fence that you can get, and every seat in the house is taken. And I'm going to tell you, there's a lot of folks here. I don't know what that count would be, but there's a lot. Wildcats on first down. Jabari Lewis is going to slide out of there and try to throw one down the field. It's going to be incomplete. He almost had it intercepted. So he was running for his life as he was under pressure that time. Incomplete pass. It'll be 2nd and 10. I don't know how you judge attendance for a high school game, but I tell you, if you look at this chain link fence that goes around this stadium, there's not a place that you can stand on the fence to watch the game that's not occupied. Along with bleachers in the end zone, bleachers on the home side, and bleachers on the visiting side. All four.
Now Davion Dean and Jabari Lewis are going to swap places here. Davion Dean in at quarterback.
Davion in there. 2nd down and 10. Cats need some momentum. Dean calls for the ball, going to hand it off and keep it himself. Dean with a big run. He's out across the 10 to the 15 to the 20. Dean out across the 30-yard line. A good zone read play. He faked it in there to Cam Smith, and Davion Dean is going to pick up 22 yards and a Wildcat first down.
That is a huge play. Backed up into the shadows of your own goalpost. And Davion Dean on the read option with Cam Smith. And when you get those two in the backfield together, it can be dynamic. And Davion Dean shows you why.
First down and 10 now for the Wildcats. Handoff Cam Smith, and Cam Smith's going to fight his way behind the blocker there. Cam Smith fights out to the 32-yard line. Davion Dean is kind of taking over the leadership role here at quarterback here in the third quarter as the Wildcats need a comeback.
I'm going to tell you, I'm with you, though. I just feel like Cam Smith at any second could break one of these, Mike. Had the opportunity on that last series there, almost broke one. Brought down by literally a shoestring from the safety.
2nd down 8. Dean in there. 2 receivers to the left, 2 to the right, 1 back in the backfield. Davion calls for the snap, going to hand the ball to Smith again, and Cam is going to be driven backwards this time. Not going to happen this time. Oh, and no, that's got to be 15 yards. It will be. That's the second time 55 is going to get unsportsmanlike here, and that should, if they call unsportsmanlike, he's out of the game. Because that was the guy that right before halftime cost him the 3 points, and he just shoved the Wildcat down after the play for no apparent reason other than he's just mad. And that should be, if they call it unsportsmanlike, which I don't see why it wouldn't be, that should do it for him. And I'm sorry, but there's no place for that.
No, not well after the play's over with. And I tell you again, here's why you're going to get all over him if I'm the head football coach.
Oh, he's fighting with somebody on his sideline.
They just stopped. He just stopped Cam Smith for a loss of about 4 yards.
Yeah, you made a great play. You made a great play, Jackie. Celebrate. Don't push the other team. Celebrate with your team. And thankfully, the Bradford coaches are sending him out of here. And he should be gone anyway. I mean, he got to the sideline over there and tried to pick a fight with his own teammates.
Yeah, not a guy you want around the program, I can tell you.
No. And I was serious. At the end of the half, he cost them 3 points, and right there, he cost them a first down. They stuck Cam Smith 4 yards in the backfield. Now they got a first down. Davion Dean fakes the pass. Now he's going to run it. Davion Dean trying to get untracked back there, and he just can't quite do it. The Bradford defensive line keying on Dean. He dropped back to throw, then he ran the quarterback keeper, and he just couldn't get out of the backfield. It'll be 2nd and 10.
Yeah, that time we complimented those guys earlier, but the offensive line, we're spreading them out 5 wide on a design quarterback draw. That big guys up front, you got to get a hand on somebody there.
Yeah.
There were 2 or 3 linemen for Bradford in the backfield. Davion Dean just not able to get going, and now Blake May is going to check back in at quarterback.
Second down 10 from the 43-yard line. Blake May takes the snap, going to give it, no, he's going to keep it on the zone replay, and Blake Mays has got it out for the 47-yard line. I thought he gave that one to Cam Smith on the weak side carry around right end, but Mays kept it. It'll be 3rd and 6.
Which is okay. It's just tough when you got a 2nd and 11 situation there to run that. He picks up 4 yards, but still going to be in a 3rd and 7 here.
3rd down, a big play for the Cats coming up. Dean looking to the sideline. Blake Mays back in at quarterback. 3 receivers set to the right side. 10 seconds on the play clock. Blake Mays in the gun. Under a minute to go in the quarter and a flag down. We're going to get a legal motion on the Cats.
And we talked about it. I tell you, as the Wildcats, I just feel like you're at a point in the game where you need something to happen. You need a big play to go your way.
Yeah.
To try to get some of that momentum swing back on your side.
Well, I got to tell you, aside from the undisciplined stuff and the penalties, Bradford very talented on defense. A lot of team speed, a lot of guys on this defense that are really ball hawk, and they hit you. So it's going to be tough, but we've been close, Jackie, and we can break one. 3rd down, 11. Blake Mays in the gun. 1 receiver to the left, 3 to the right. Now,
get it the leg there.
And the Wildcats are now self-destructing like Bradford did back in the 2nd quarter.
You know, sometimes you try to do some things a little different right here when you're reeling a little bit.
Yeah.
Get the play in, make sure everybody's got it. Could be a huge first down if they can pick it up.
3rd down, 15. Mays under pressure. Mays rolls to his left. Mays fighting for time. Fires one down the field. Overthrows Josh Holmes down the left sideline, and we're going to have to punt it away.
Oh, my goodness. Just, again, Blake Mays running for his life as soon as he gets the snap.
Tough.
Bradford brought the house that time. Blake Mays nowhere to go with the football. Bought some extra time by rolling out to the left. But you're going to rely on your defense here to make a big play.
Well, the defense is going to have to stand up here. You're going to have to stop Bradford, and you're going to have to get the ball back. And let's go see if we can go win this game on a game-winning drive late in the 4th quarter. Punt comes down inside. Oh, he fumbles the football. The Wildcats may have had it. The Wildcats may have recovered. It's inside the 30-yard line, and the Wildcats have it. The punt returners tried to make a play, and the Cats came up and hit him. As the 3rd quarter ends, the Wildcats are going to get the ball inside the 30-yard line at the Bradford 25.
You talk about a big play, there's not one bigger than that. As this 3rd quarter comes to an end, and the Wildcats trail 21-17, but what a huge play on the fumble recovery at the Bradford 25-yard line.
Pop quiz, Jackie, what I tell you, keeps an equalizer in a game like this. Big plays and what? Turnovers. Let's send it back to the station for a 1-minute timeout. That's the end of the 3rd quarter. We'll be back with more of Wildcat football on WFBB.
Baker County Farm Bureau wants to wish the Baker County Wildcats much success this football season. Baker County Farm Bureau, specializing in auto insurance, homeowners insurance, along with life insurance. To get started with Farm Bureau, contact Jack Baker or Justin Webb at 259-6332. That's 259-6332.
Hi, this is Larry Birkins of Birkins Chevrolet in McClenny. It is truly an honor to help make these Wildcat radio broadcasts possible. Birkins Chevrolet with sales and service 6 days a week. Cars, trucks, SUVs, certified used cars. We help customers establish or reestablish credit. Thank you, Wildcat fans. From Larry Birkins at Birkins Chevrolet, US 90 in the heart of McClenny.
Online at BirkinsChevy.com.
And we welcome you back here for the 4th quarter from Bradford High. The Wildcats of Baker County on the road at Bradford. The Wildcats just got a big turnover to end the 3rd quarter. And we set up 1st and 10 from the 25 with 1 quarter to play. Blake Mays running the option to the left side. He keeps it himself, and he's going to run it inside the 25 down to the 20-yard line. A 5-yard gain on first down for Blake Mays, and he just ran the option keeper and picked up 5. Jackie, the Cats trail by 4 here, 21-17. We missed that field goal earlier, which could play huge. The Cats need a touchdown to go back on top.
Yeah, and Blake Mays back in at quarterback now. We got the big set in there. Just 2 receivers, one to the left and one to the right.
From the 15, second down and 5. Davion Dean in motion. Here goes Cam Smith, and Cam Smith's got a hole, and he just had it closed up just that quickly. Shoestring tackle again on Cam Smith as he fought near the 10-yard line, but they're going to say first down Cats, and I'm sorry, the 15-yard line. First down Cats, and we can get another one at the 5. So from the 15, we'll have first and 10.
Oh, my goodness, Cam Smith on the verge there. We saw that hole open up. Big guys up front, making away.
First down play, Blake Mays calls for the ball. Mays hands it to Dean. Davion Dean is running to the left side, and he picks up 5 yards, and I'm sorry, that's Josh Holmes on the carry. He and Dean have a similar build on the football field, and Holmes is 5, and Dean is 2, but Holmes and Dean kind of run upright, very similar.
Great athletes to bring in there. That time we put Cam Smith out in motion. You want to key on number 1, we'll have some guys make a play, and Josh Holmes picks up 4.
Second and 6, handoff Cam Smith, and he's going to fight toward the 8-yard line, maybe down to the 7, and it's going to bring up third down and a long 2 here.
Oh, my goodness. They just on the verge that time. Cam Smith, known as the speedster, but they're just using him inside the tackles right there like a power back.
Well, you got them set up, though, Jackie. You got them set up for somebody on the outside, a sweep play, something on the outside here. Third down. Take advantage of their pursuit is what I say. Third down, call it a long 2, may as well call it 3. Cats need to get it to the 5. 21-17, Bradford on top with 9:50 to go in the ballgame. A bid to the Final Four is on the line, and Blake Mays didn't make the right read that time. Dan Smith, he takes the read, and he's hitting the backfield, and number 1 for Bradford made a huge play right there as Torin Brazel comes off the line and slings Mays down in the backfield for a loss. But all is not lost. If the Wildcats can stick this through the uprights to make it a 21-20 game, then the next time we've got the ball down here, all we've got to do is kick a field goal to win the game.
Yeah, my goodness. It just seems like this offense stalls at the worst time.
30-yard attempt from the left hash. The snap is a good one, and it's blocked. It's blocked.
And nothing doing.
Bradford just absolutely broke the Wildcats' heart. We got the turnover. And number 7, C.J. Karn, came off the left side, and he got back there just in time. And I'll tell you what, Jackie, all it takes in high school to disrupt things is just a little bit. The snap a little high. Davion Dean's got to go up a little bit to get it, bring it back down. That little split second was just enough for Karn to come off the edge, get a hand on it. I mean, the ball still made its way almost to the upright. So, I mean, he didn't get a full block on it. He got a partial block, but it was just enough to keep it from going through the uprights, and the score stays the same. And Bradford takes over, first and 10 from their own 20. They hand the ball off to the left side, and Pollard's got it, and Pollard, a flag down on the play, and we're going to push Pollard back inside the 10-yard line. Pollard got nothing on the play, and a flag was down. It could be holding against Bradford from where the flag came in.
Yeah, that's kind of what I was looking at there, maybe a chop block, but nonetheless, that Wildcat defense with a big stop there on first down, and I was just about to say, you're going to get a heavy dose of Pollard on this series. So let's see if this Wildcat defense.
Well, yeah, I mean, their defense has done the job. They've got everything on their side right now. The 4-point lead means the Wildcats have to have a touchdown. If I'm Coach Mays, I absolutely back them up with the holding call here. If you decline it, it's second and 10. But, I mean, I know down-wise you want to get the ball back, but holding is 10 yards. Take it. Take the 10 yards.
Yeah, he was over here. He was checking our replay set. Couldn't find him to make the call, but he does move him back.
Oh, okay. There you go. I mean, at this stage of the game with 9 minutes to go, I still say take all the penalties you can get. You know, later on in the game, you might decline that for the sake of time, but not now. First down and 20 now. They're going to run out to the left side with Pollard, and Pollard's going to be strung out over there. Orlando Holland runs along that defensive line, and he doesn't get much. If he got 2 yards, that's about it.
Yeah, what a great play by Orlando Holland, lined up at the left end over here and just absolutely sprinted down the line of scrimmage as they were running away from number 13. He ran it down from behind. And again, we talk about a huge stop and some potential momentum and field advantage here. Wildcats need a stop.
Second down, 18 now. McKenzie in the shotgun. 2 receivers to the right. Now he's going to look to throw. He's going to be sacked. The Wildcats defense gets back there and sacks McKenzie inside the 10-yard line, and it's going to bring up a huge third down now. They're going to need to get the ball out across the 30-yard line for a first down, and the ball's all the way back at around the 7.
Another play by Orlando Holland, one of those seniors on this football team, Mike. Do you think he wants this season to end right here? 2 plays in a row. He's just getting after it.
Orlando Holland has had one of the best years a defensive player can have for this Wildcat defense. I tell you what, he's been everywhere for these Cats. Third down, call it 23. McKenzie in the gun. Straight drop, fires one down the right side. It's going to be complete. Almost intercepted. They tried to get it to their best receiver, and he went up high, tried to catch it. Wildcats had our best guy there, and he almost came down with it, but it falls to the ground harmlessly, and now we should get good field position.
Going to be good field position here, and you got Cam Smith back there. So I think you talked about the bounces these balls have been taking. They're going to put Cam Smith back there. Tell him to scoot up. You got to field this one.
Got to. Holmes stands back around the 40-yard line. I'm sorry, Cam Smith stands back around the 40-yard line. The punter's going to get his foot into it. It's a high punt, and it's going to hit around the 40 and go straight out of bounds. So a good throw this time for the Cats. We'll have it at the Bradford 43 with 7:12 to go in this game. Jackie, the one guy that I was going to tell you earlier, we missed a couple of touchdowns. If you were calling a Wildcat touchdown right now, and I said, what would Larry Burton say? What would you say?
Just come on. Come on now. Drive that Chevrolet down the start. Watch a heck of a ball game. 2 juggernauts going after it.
I told some folks today that I wasn't going to watch the Florida State game during this game because it was going to be such a good game. There's going to be just enough time for us to watch the Florida State game in the parking lot to see who wins it. But we'll worry about that in a little while. First down and 10 Cats from the 43. And can somebody call and make sure they don't ever play that game again on Friday night?
My goodness, what a terrible decision by both teams.
Terrible decision. Nobody plays college football on Friday. First down, here we go. Blake Mays hands the ball off. Cam Smith, and Cam Smith fights his way out of there. He's going to pick up yardage inside the 40, down to the 37-yard line. Cam Smith makes something out of nothing and picks up 6 yards.
Yeah, I tell you, and we're just lining up right now. Bunch of big guys up front, heavy set. We put everybody on the line of scrimmage. You got Davion Dean split out to the left, Josh Holmes to the right, with Cam and Blake in the backfield. I like us a little better in that spread where Blake Mays can read it.
Give him 5 down to the 38-yard line. Handoff again. No, Mays reads it well. He goes around the left corner, and Blake Mays goes to the first down marker, which is what he was trying to do, gets out of bounds, and the Cats are going to move the chain.
Good read that time by Blake Mays, and that's what he was looking for on that third down inside the 10-yard line. Bradford read that one perfectly, but keying in on Cam Smith on that play, and Blake Mays does what he needs to do.
Yeah, good run, good decision that time. First down Cats. Again, deep inside Bradford territory. Can we capitalize? Can we capitalize? Cam Smith, interior of the defensive line. Maybe a yard, second down and 9.
I tell you, I'm waiting on Cam Smith to take that and pop it outside, similar to what he did on that first down. That time he just buried his head. Now Davion Dean's going to move to the backfield.
Second down play now. Mays gives the ball. No, he keeps it himself. Made a great move there. Take the toss to Davion Dean, and Blake Mays is going to pick up another first down, just picking them up and putting them down inside the 20, down to the 18-yard line. Another Bradford player shaking up on the play. 5:57 to go in the ball game. My goodness.
Coach Mays mixing it up there. That time brought Davion Dean into the backfield with Cam and Blake. Takes the inside give there to Cam Smith, and Blake Mays and Davion run the option to the right. What a beautiful play that time is Blake Mays toting the load this game.
Toting the load. Blake Mays has had a whale of a game. Also, on the defensive side of the ball, an interception that ended up leading to him being able to kick a field goal to take a 17-7 lead at the halftime. Unfortunately for the Cats, we've been stuck on that 17 number for about an hour and a half.
And this is the point on the field where this Wildcat offense, we put together great drives and kind of sputtered. Here deep into Bradford territory, we got to be able to punch this one in, Mike. Got a 1st and 10 situation from about the 19 or 20-yard line. Wildcats got to find a way to get this one in the end zone.
Well, and it's so important because, you were in position to make this. Jackie, let me just say it like this. The Wildcats were in position to make this a field goal game, takes the lead right now. One of those 2 field goals goes in, and we're a 1-point game here.
Yeah, no, you're right.
We missed 2 in the third quarter. Blake missed from 42. Just pulled that one left. He kicked it well. This last one was blocked, so that's not on Mays at all. But, I mean, hey, man, how much would you like to have one of those kicks right now?
I had no doubt about it. I tell you, Blake Mays, one of those guys, you said it's got an interception on the defensive side. He's played quarterback the majority of this game, and then you rely on him in the special teams to punt and kick.
Well, I tell you one thing. Some people may have questioned whether this Wildcat team was tough. Well, I tell you, this environment that they played in tonight, these young guys are going to grow up pretty quick. And I tell you, it's been a cat fight, dog fight, whatever you want to call it, but it's been back and forth here all night long. What a game. What a game. Wildcats, 1st down and 10, inside the 20. Snap back. Hand off to Cam Smith. Cam Smith fights his way inside the 15, down to the 14-yard line. Cam Smith picks up 2, maybe 3, maybe 4 tough yards there. It'll be 2nd down and 6 now for the Cats.
Tough running for Cam Smith. Those big guys up front were going fast.
Big guys going fast. There goes Mays. Going to hand it off to Cam Smith again, and this time we went back to the well too many times that time. Cam Smith inside, just getting pushed back. He's going to lose a yard, maybe 2, and it's going to be 3rd down and 8.
Oh, my goodness. And I mean, you're obviously with 5:23 and counting, Wildcats down 21-17. This is 4-down territory. Would love to punch it in here, but you got to get positive yardage. We just talked about this offense sputtering deep in Bradford territory. That play was going nowhere.
Big-time play coming up here. 3rd down, call it 8. Blake Mays in the gun. Davion Dean, the lone receiver to the left side. Mays looking for Dean in the end zone. The pass is going to be broken up, and it may have been picked off. No, it's incomplete. Dean's pulling double coverage every time, and that's a tough play to make right there. And now we're going to have to decide. I mean, hey, if I'm Coach Mays, you may as well kick the field goal, man. Kick the field goal, get it to within 1 point. That way we can try to get a stop on defense, get the ball back, and go kick a field goal to win the game. I mean, that's the only chance you got. You can't get 4th and 9 here. But we're going to go for it.
He's been turned away so often, I think.
I mean, one of those kicks is going to go in. I'd have to kick the field goal there. Now we're going to get sacked. I mean, I wouldn't have even questioned it, Jackie. I'd have kicked the field goal on 4th and 9. We'd have been down 1 point. Now we can still do the same thing, get a stop. But when we get the stop, we got to score a touchdown. Cats just can't get out of their own way right now and block anybody on that play, and Mays gets sacked before he knew what was coming.
Yeah, I mean, I tell you, 2nd down and 5, and then, 1st and get 5 yards on 1st down. 2nd and 5, Cam Smith just gets completely blown up. I'd have loved to have seen some misdirection there.
Yeah.
Looked like Blake Mays and Davion Dean had some room on the right side, but nonetheless, here we are. You're asking your defense to come up with another huge stop with 4:42 left in this ball game.
That's right. And it's tough. I mean, tough spot. They get the ball at the 25-yard line after the big play. 1st down and 10 going the other way. You just need to stop 3 plays in a row, make them punt the ball. There's still time. There's 4:42 on the clock. Cats down by 4, though, and we stop them here on 1st down, maybe a gain of 1, 2nd down and 9.
What a jump that time by Orlando Holland. I thought for sure they were going to call him offside, but he must have had the best jump of the night as he beat his man and got to the mesh point almost before the running back got the ball.
Second down, and they're going to move here and back up 5 yards.
And that's what that jump Orlando Holland got on the last play will do is the right tackle jumped early thinking, my goodness, I got to get out of my stance quick to keep up with 13.
Second down is going to be about 2nd and 13 now. Wildcats just need 2 more stops here, make them pump the football back to you, and then go get a touchdown to win the football game. I know it sounds like a lot to ask, but that's all you got to do.
This Wildcat defense has played so well all game long, too.
Clock running, under 4 minutes to go in the football game. Snap back, they're going to hand it off to Pollard. He's hit immediately. The Cat defense stuffs him right there, and it's going to be 3rd down and 14. Cat defense has done the job when they've needed to. I tell you, that kickoff return, that's probably going to be the difference maker if it ends like it is now. But the Cats look like if we can get off the field here on 3rd down, we're going to get one more chance.
Yep, got to get a big stop right here, though. They've stood tall all game long. Gave up one just crazy on 4th and 1 down here.
4th and 1 play, yeah.
Let them escape for a touchdown, but, man, if they can get a stop here.
It reminded me of that Josh Hammond Florida versus Kentucky game on the 4th and 1 when he broke one to seal the game a couple of years ago. You remember that?
Yeah.
That's just kind of play that was, you know, and McKenzie with the speed he has was off to the races. 3:06 to go in the ball game. Clock is stopped now. It's going to be 3rd down, and we're just going to keep it here. 16 yards to go.
Bradford's going to call a timeout here. The Wildcats had to use a timeout early in the half, so I think we're down to 2. But, now they just put 31 minutes on the clock.
I hope it's not that long.
High quality Bradford education.
I'd really like to watch at least one quarter of the Florida FSU game.
There we go, 3:09. How about that? Yeah. 3:09 to go here in the 4th quarter. The Wildcats trail 21-17, Mike. And my goodness, at the opportunities we've had, you said it. At this point, 2 field goals that we just couldn't get in. Pulled one to the left, then one got blocked. Would have given the Wildcats a 2-point lead at this point. And then an opportunity there. We go for it on 4th down and don't get it deep into Bradford territory. So a potential for 9 points left out there.
Yeah.
But with a stop here, the Wildcats are going to get another opportunity.
All right, 3rd down play, a big one for the Cats. 3rd down, 16. Wildcats back up on defense. Quarterback McKenzie in the shotgun. He's got Pollard in the backfield with him. 9 on the play clock. Takes the snap, going to hand it off. No, fires one over the middle, and they got a guy wide open. They called the tight end screen, and they got a touchdown. I can't believe it. They set this in and set this in. They snapped it with about 7 on the play clock. They sent number 10, which is Jason Clark. He plays linebacker and tight end there. They sit him out, and he's going to get behind the defense here and score a touchdown.
Oh, man, and I tell you, as good as this Wildcat defense has played all night long, that's heartbreaking for those guys. They deserve to get a stop there, but football's not fair.
No, if it was fair, some different things might have happened tonight, but it's not fair. I mean, but what a great play call by Bradford. Sometimes you got to tip your cap. Tight end comes off the line there. Nobody. They haven't shown that play one time tonight, and they gave the tight end on 3rd down. They need 16 yards. They're just thinking get the 1st down. The man breaks it and he's gone. And that's going to send a bunch of Wildcat fans to the exit. And Jackie, unfortunately for the Cats, with only 2:56 on the clock, we now find ourselves down by 11.
Oh my goodness, yeah. And I tell you, with only 2 timeouts, you got to make something happen quickly with 2:56 here on the clock. And man, what opportunities this Wildcat team has had. We have lived in Bradford territory. in this second half, and unfortunately just couldn't get it done.
Yeah, that's right. That's exactly right.
0 points.
No, 0 points. Had a 17-7 lead at the half, and you look back, and Bradford has scored 21 unanswered points here in the second half. And, Jackie, look at them all. Look at the plays that they hit on. All three of them were big plays.
Oh, yeah.
And when I say that, when I say big play, I mean you're talking, 20, plus 20 yards, right? So the kickoff was 98 yards. That's a big play. The quarterback keeper on 4th and 1, he goes 60 yards for a touchdown. And then here on 3rd and 16, I don't even know, 80 yards. 80-yard tight end touchdown pass. Got behind everybody. Wildcats will bring it back from the 10-yard line. Davion Dean's got it, and he's going to get it out across the 25. Puts his shoulder down, and Davion Dean makes a couple of Bradford guys pay for that. But Cats have got a lot of work to do and a little time to do it, Jack.
Yep. A little time is right. 2:49 on the clock. Wildcats trail 28-17. Only 2 timeouts. So, like I said, you gotta put something together here quickly to try to get the ball back.
I tell you what, a couple things I want to share here, Jackie, as we get down toward the final. Davion Dean is going to throw a backward pass here, and it's going to be almost intercepted and almost caught, and I think we're going to get a lineman downfield here on the Cats, unfortunately. Looks like maybe an ineligible downfield, perhaps.
Went back to that first play of the game we ran there, a little razzle-dazzle play, trying to pitch it to Davion Dean and throw it back to Cam Smith.
Yeah. Bradford will decline the penalty. It'll be 2nd and 10 now. And here's the unfortunate situation for the Cats. If we don't get a first down and we don't score a touchdown here, this one's going to be over. And it may very well be over already. 28-17 Bradford. 2:42 to go in the ball game. Region final. The championship of this region is on the line and a trip to the Final Four. And Bradford has come out in the second half and done a number on the Wildcats, and they're going to pick Jabari Rios off here as the safety just comes over and makes a play. Cummings comes over there, number 2, the safety, and makes the play. And just too much here in the second half for Bradford, Jackie, and they're gonna walk out of here with a victory, and they can seal it with 2:26 to go. And I tell you, there's a lot for this Wildcat team to be proud of. There's a lot for these guys to take away from tonight's game. I said it. It's hard to think anything differently than this, Jackie. We were clearly the underdog coming in, but big plays, turnovers, things like that keep you in a ball game. Wildcats were doing everything that they could to stay in it. Missed a couple of field goals in the second half, gave up 3 big plays to Bradford that turned out to be the difference in the game.
Oh, no doubt about it. I mean, Bradford have not sustained a drive at all tonight and hit those big plays, and the Wildcats just couldn't get out of their own way, living in Bradford territory all night long.
Well, Jackie, this clock's going to run out on the 2022 season for the Wildcats. I want to just take a moment and thank all the Wildcat fans that listened in to us tonight and all through the season. And, I can't say enough about working with you these past 7 or 8 years that we've done Wildcat football and the amount of fun and enjoyment that we've had here. And, Jackie, I just, it's hard to imagine the way that halftime looked tonight, that it's going to come to an end tonight, but looks like it'll be the end of the road for the Wildcats. And at the end of the game, we'll sign it off, and it'll be the end of the road for the Mike and Jackie radio broadcast. But it's been a good ride, Jackie. I got to tell you, it's been a good ride, and all the folks that texted us tonight, all the folks that talked to us during the week and everything else, it's been fun. And the only thing I'll say with that is, if you heard anything that I've said about radio broadcasts in the last couple of weeks as we've shared some stories, and you got any interest in that, go talk to Coach Mays at the high school. I would think that I was a guy that was in his young 20s when I took this over, and I would think if you got somebody out there that's interested in doing it and wants to take over the reins, go talk to Coach Mays. I'm going to work with Coach Mays and make sure that everybody gets trained and knows what's going on with all this stuff. And it's not hard once you get into it, is it, Jack?
No, not at all. You get to sit up here and watch Wildcat football, and you get to talk about it to a lot of people.
But, Jackie, I'm going to tell you something. This is a scene that we'll miss. I tell you, the one thing about this is I know that the Wildcats are on the losing end of this, Jackie, but what I said earlier, every spot on this chain link fence is taken. Every seat in this stadium for the longest time was taken. This atmosphere, the bands are here, the cheerleaders are here. This atmosphere, this is where football fans and people that enjoy watching football and people that play football, this is why you fall in love with the game. It's the same thing with Saturday college football and Sunday NFL football. It's the pageantry that goes along with it, Jackie. If it wasn't for that, none of these people would be here, right? I mean, what a beautiful sight, though. It's been a wonderful night, and it's been a wonderful season. It's been a wonderful ride. And all I'm going to say to folks as we exit the air tonight is just go Wildcats, Jackie. We're going to come back. We've got a young team here. Got a lot of guys on this team that are going to be back on this team next year. And a lot of guys coming up. So, Wildcats are going to continue to fight. I told you, 4 of the last 5 years we've been in the region final. Let's go make it 5 out of 6.
Yeah, the future's bright for this Wildcat team, and I'm excited to be there for it. Yeah, a bunch of guys on this defensive unit right here, Mike, they're going to be a force to be reckoned with in the next 2 or 3 years.
Absolutely. Clock's going to wind down here. We got a minute and a half to go, and Bradford's trying to salt this game away on a 3rd down play. The quarterback gets close to the 1st down marker out to the 45. Even if they punted it back to the Wildcats here, we don't have enough time. We would need 2 touchdowns. And Bradford PA announcer announcing that their home game will be next week here. They'll be in the Final Four after this win tonight. And I will say this also, Jackie. Bradford had a very, very bad first half as far as discipline and everything else. But I don't know what Coach Rogers said to them at halftime, but they turned it around in the second half, and it's been a hard-fought football game from there. And really, with the big plays they made, Jackie, all you can do is tip your cap,
Yeah, I mean,
that's all you can do.
Listen, at the end of the day, like I said, make no mistake about it, the Wildcats are going to look back at this game and at the opportunities that were missed with the ball in our hands.
Yeah.
I mean, again, the score is not indicative of what control I felt like the Wildcat offense had. I mean, just moving the ball with ease in the second half, but every time we got in the red zone or inside the 25 or 30-yard line, we just couldn't get out of our own way, missed opportunities left and right. And, I mean, that's the difference in a ball game, You talk about momentum. Well, we just could never regain that momentum. We thought we had it a couple times on a couple turnovers, but couldn't add points to it.
Going to get a false start against Bradford here. Still a minute and 27 on the clock, but not enough time.
No, you'd have to score a touchdown, get the onside kick, and kick a field goal.
Well, we needed one of those field goals in the 3rd quarter, and I tell you, I'm not putting that on Blake Mays. I'm just saying we needed one. If we get one of those, then a minute ago, instead of that sack that we had on 4th down, we might kick the field goal to win the game. Might not ever even see them get the tight end pass. You know what I mean? It's just crazy. It's, just very little had to happen for things to turn around. Cam Smith's going to return the punt up the sideline here, get out near the 40-yard line, and be 1st and 10 Cats with a minute and 19 left. So we'll see if the Cats can do anything here down the stretch. But I mean, Jackie, you think about it. Go back through the course of this second half. It only took one tackle on a kickoff return, one tackle on a 4th and 1 play, one tackle here and there, one made field goal. This game could completely went the other way.
Yeah, no, I mean, and that's what I'm saying. I don't want to paint a doom and gloom picture for this Wildcat.
Oh, no, not at all.
Defense,
what a game.
played out of their mind.
What a game.
The Bradford Tornadoes just hit on big plays when they needed to. I mean, they hit a touchdown on fourth down. Yep. 4th and 1, they hit a touchdown in their territory.
Yep.
You know, a kickoff return for a touchdown, and then a tight end play that we never saw coming. Davion Dean unloads here on first down, going to fire one down there to Blake Mays, and it's going to be picked off, and that'll do the game. That'll be the game. Blake Mays was fighting hard with the defender over there, and he tried to come down with it, couldn't do it. And you hate it for a guy like Blake Mays that's had such a great game tonight to see this thing end for him as a senior on this football field. But I tell you, he's played with a valiant effort, and I want to congratulate all these seniors on such a great season. That's the worst part about it, man, watching these seniors who just poured their blood, sweat, and tears into this program every year. You want to see them all go to state championships and be state champions, but unfortunately, that's not the way it works. But what a great senior group. Blake Mays leading the charge this year. Came in, did an outstanding job for this Wildcat team all season long. And they're going to come up just a bit short tonight, but not for a lack of effort, I can assure you. On either side of the football, these guys got after it tonight and had opportunity after opportunity. I tell you what, man, I just take it in, Jackie, the scene here as we end this season, and I tell you, it's tough to see the season end, especially for not just the seniors on the team, but, you know, the coaches, and then for me and you and for everything else. But it's been fun, man. It's been fun. It's been a great ride, and this season was fun. Wildcats are going to end on a positive note. I told you earlier, the 4th region final game in the past 5 years. You know, last year we were in the Final Four. You know, almost there again this year, and a couple of different things happened in this game. We'd have been there. And I would also be remiss without saying to my friend and your friend, congratulations to Jamie Rogers on making the Final Four with Bradford. And as much as that pains us to say that, especially Bradford being the team that he's coaching for, but Jamie Rogers has done a great job, and he gets there. So congratulations to them, Jackie. The Wildcats coming up on the short end, 28-17. Jackie, your final thoughts on this season and anything else you'd like to say? Yeah, what a great effort by this Wildcat team. You know, again, an opportunity. We talk about this year in and year out. These Wildcat teams, you're not going to see littered with 5 stars and 4 stars. You know, these are a bunch of guys that have played touchdown club football together since they were 5 and 6 years old, and every year and every season they get out there and they get after it. And man, what a great season for this team. No different. A bunch of guys coming together, and when you thought, you know, they weren't going to be any good, they come out and they make a deep run into the playoffs, get to the regional final for the 3rd year in a row. So congratulations to those guys. Congratulations to our coaching staff. Again, Coach Kevin Mays, 3 regional finals in a row, a feat never accomplished by no other Wildcat coach. So we'll look to rebuild for next year. I've enjoyed it, Mike. We've got to call a lot of exciting games. I mean, we've called a state championship game. We've called regional final games. So what an exciting time. I mean, we've probably been to more playoff games, you and I, in the last 7 years than a lot of broadcasters have done their whole lives. So it's been an exciting run. I've enjoyed it, and we'll look forward to next season. I think probably the most important thing throughout all that time, Jackie, is the playoff games have been great. I think it's all the people that we've had a chance to meet and the players that have come through this program, and some of which have gone on to play college football, some of which have gone on to play pro football, some of which have gone on to be a doctor or a lawyer or whatever other occupation they may have chosen in life. But just the people that we've met throughout this entire time, and I got a couple of them that texted me tonight, and, you know, it's good to hear from those guys, and I'm going to tell you that. And that's been fun. And, you know, as I sign it off here, Jackie, I just want to say again thank you to you. Thank you to these sponsors that made it possible for Wildcat Radio to be out here, because I promise you there were a lot of folks listening to these cats across the way tonight, and
hopefully that will continue. But, Jackie, it's only fitting, since we are broadcasting from Glen Baptist Church on 97.5 WFBB, it's only fitting that I just tell you this. In the good book, you know what the good book is, Jackie? In the Bible, if you turn to the book of Ecclesiastes, in Ecclesiastes chapter 3, to everything there's a season and a time for every purpose under heaven. A time to be born and a time to die. A time to plant and a time to pluck what is planted. A time to kill, a time to heal. A time to break down and a time to build up. A time to weep and a time to laugh. A time to mourn and a time to dance. And I tell you what, Jackie, we... We've been able to watch these Wildcats dance a lot, and I just want to say to all the Wildcat fans that listen in, thank you so much, and good night, everybody. We'll talk to you next season.